Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2. We're testing what Yannick's tested. Testing, testing what Yannick's tested. What a wonderful evening here from the Caravel. That's a great start to the evening. This is your host for the most for this evening at the Caravan National Cricket Ground. And it's absolutely gorgeous evening here. We promised an even more gorgeous one tomorrow. What might that be? An even more gorgeouser one. And news of the toss. The Empire Lions won the toss, have elected to bat. And I'm reliably informed, my trusty sidekeep here, that we have 11 minutes to kick off. 11 minutes to start of the game. So go and get your cup of tea, sandwich, dal, whatever else you might like, and get ready for action. This evening is going to be a special one. Speak to you all later, folks. Stay online, and we shall see you soon. Evening again here from the Caravan National Cricket Ground commentators box. We have Mr. Verbal online this evening, so you're in for a treat. We've got a question online this evening. Who will win? Well, I'm reliably informed that it will be either Empire Lions or the Greater Helsinki Markers that will win this evening. So not giving anything away there, but the sun is still shining, the covers are off, the grass is green. We're looking for a wonderful night. Evening again, viewers, as the Empire Lions opening batters make their way to the crease. Springing in his step, number 26, national team vice captain, Mr. Vanraj Singh Padal, and his opening partner this evening, young number 40, Mr. Zirak Ijaz, himself a development player in the national side as of this last winter. So we've got an interesting partnership to open the innings for the Empire Lions this evening at the Kerava National Cricket Ground here in Finland, which is absolutely basking in sunshine at the moment. So for all of you that So to face the first ball of the innings this evening will be Mr. Vanraj Singh Padal, number 26. The non-strikers end, his partner Zirak Ijaz, and opening the bowling for the Greater Helsinki Markers this evening will be number 28, Mr. Sohail Amin, who I believe, from the last game and from the looks of the field at the moment, will be bowling right arm over the wicket. Fortunately for myself, as the only bit of commentary that I've done this week was for a game with Greater Helsinki earlier in the week. And number 28 was on the back of a couple of people's shirts. So we are reliably informed this evening that number 28 is really Mr. Number 28 tonight, Mr. Sohail Amin. And we're soon good to go. 1 minute to kick off, I believe, from the crowds that we have packed into this ground this evening. No, we don't actually. Finnish government COVID relaxation limitations are for 50 people, and I don't know about you guys, but I think we're probably approaching that this evening, which is you can start. It's a good sign. Glorious sunshine, and about to kick off in what will be the latest Finnish Premier League T20 match of the 2020 summer. Number 28, right arm around over the wicket. And that's a wide ball to start off with. A little bit of a loosener. Vanraj having a bit of a look at that one, but out of his reach. On to the score. Let's see how Amin then manages with his next delivery and get back on the mark as he approaches. Down the leg side, wonder did it clip something? I'm guessing it must have done. Otherwise, I know I would have signalled it as a wide, but the umpire keeps his arms down by his side, so it must have think that grazed something as it passed the back side of Mr. Vanraj. Ball approaches the wicket, and he's pumped that one straight over point. A little bit of width there. It's running away, and it'll run away for 4 runs. Lovely little shot. Didn't really look as though we had to put everything into that one. Just enough to get over the ring now in the power play, of course, of the first 6 overs of this Finnish Premier League match this evening. Point and cover fielder on the ring. Van Rij just guiding it over them. So that's a welcome boundary. First over of the innings. Ami will continue. Right up there, half volley length. That's not going to go away. Just glided through extra cover. Fielder just about makes the inner circle from inside the boundary. So the sharper batters out there amongst us will see that we have a tutor arm on the. Where's he going to be fielding? He looks like he's going to be fielding at a wide mid-off. So a wide mid-off is a tutor arm, and we have number 28 coming in again to Van Rij Singh, who's still on the strike. Leaves that one, well wide. Umpire gives a signal, that's another wide. 3 legitimate balls so far, an umpire with 8 runs already on the board. As Amin comes in for his 4th delivery. Played that straight back to the bowler. Plenty of time here for Mr. Van Rij to make himself an innings this evening. Have a look at a straight one, block it back to the bowler. Wait for the next delivery. Bit of confusion at the wicket here. Sends his partner back, non-striker, Mr. Zirak Ijaz, then a little bit nervous perhaps, not having faced a ball yet. Ball hit almost straight to the fielder. There was no run there, that's for sure. So good call. Send him back as Amin approaches the wicket again. Right arm over. Another full one. Yep. Dabs that one straight through past the bowler to a short mid on, and that brings up the over, and we have 9 runs off the first over, and Van Rij craftily taking a single off the last, which meaning that he'll face the first ball of the second over, which by the looks of it we have. Yeah, it's going to be bowled by number 44, the Mark Hoare's vice-captain Naveed Shahid, who is going to be bowling with a left arm over the wicket action. Puts down his bowler's mark just to make sure that he doesn't upset the groundsman by digging a big hole, which is a good sign. Nobody wants to get the wrong side of the groundsman at this ground. So that's number 44, Naveed Shahid, approaching the wicket, bowling to Van Rij Singh, who dibs one out. Yeah, just a little nudge to the inner ring in between extra cover and the mid-off fielders. That's an easy single, bringing his partner Zirak Ijaz to face his first ball of the innings. Let's see, he's going to continue left arm over the wicket, looks like way. Nice little dab by the opening batter, Van Rij Singh, into the off-field easy single. This stage of the innings, right thing to do, put away the bad ball, get a single off the straight ones. Strategy's all intact. Let's see how Mr. Ijaz is going to face his first ball of the evening. And it's almost a repeat of the previous ball. Certainly a similar shot, not quite it was so elegant as Mr. Padal's dab, but did the business. That's another single to the score. The other day when Mr. Shahid was bowling, he's getting a little bit of in swing to the right arm batters. Let's see when he gets something tonight. There's something distracting the batter there. Sounds like a bit of chirp in the field. Maybe from his national team, the Finnish Bears colleague, Mr. Zia Rehman at short extra cover. Bowler's back to his mark. Coming into the wicket. Ooh, slightly uppish. Not quite in full control of that one. Again, a good length, good testing length. Van Rij a little bit nervously perhaps, and just nurdling that one out. A little bit uppish, but not so that there was any issue for the fielder. Facing his next delivery. Straight back to the bowler, and that'll be another dot ball. Absolutely glorious weather this evening. It's so warm here in the scorer's box. I'm wishing I'd put my shorts on this morning, but then There's probably the rest of the people around here will be glad that I hadn't, so they don't get a look at these legs. Anyway, I digress. So left arm over continue, number 44, Mr. Shahid coming to Van Raj Singh Padal. He guides that one down. There's going to be a single there. Yep, it's fielded well, but there was always going to be one on there. To the left hand of the, what would that be, a sort of a backward gully short third man position. Takes the single easily enough, which will bring his partner number 40, Mr. Zirak Ijaz, to face what will be his second delivery of the evening. Let's see what Mr. Shahid is going to bowl to him now. A little bit short. It's almost as if he jumped across the crease there, the batter, and managed to guide that one past the cover fielder, and they'll take an easy 2. Well run again by these two batters. Doesn't look as though there's any issues in the running and calling between the wickets. It's a nice 2. That'll bring us to the end of the second over, which means scores on the doors. We have 14, which a man of my mathematical genius would say that's going at an average of 7 runs and over this evening. So a nice little start. So a little bit of cackling going at the back of the scorer's box here. The commentator's trying to focus. Number 28 coming into Van Raj Singh Padal, just blocks that one. Partner then calls him through. It's a good single. Good, nice little single. Good calling from Zirak there. Van Raj perhaps just caught a little bit there in the lights, ball watching, but good call from his younger colleague. Brings him through for the single. Trust your partner. That's the way to go. And they come through for a lovely little single. Inner circle fielders perhaps need to be sharper on these ones. That's Ijad to face. Ooh, has a big waft at that wide one, and yep, sure enough, umpire spreads his arms for the signal of a wide. Another one to the score. Zirak facing again. He's flicked that one off his legs. Oh, that's a lovely little flick. He's guided that one past the square leg fielder. Is that going to run away? Fielder's diving. Has he managed to stop it? No. Umpire gives a signal, so it's gone away for 4 runs. It's a lovely little guide back of the square, just off his legs. Flicked away. The outfield spin mode again this afternoon. We did have some rain early this morning, as well as the bits and pieces of rain then throughout then yesterday. So the covers came off early enough this evening. Just drying out nicely. That corner of the field is just the only area where there's any shadow this evening, so perhaps a little bit of dampness there as it didn't really run away quickly as Zirak faces again. Ooh, nearly gives a caught and bowl chance there. Just avoids the bowler on his follow through and lives another day. Dot ball. 17, what am I talking about? 17.3 overs remaining. I was going to say Boulder. There we go. Ooh, an appeal there for a wild flash. Don't know about you, but I always have... interesting, what's going on here? The batsman left his ground, or I'm not quite sure what's the decision there. Reliably informed that's been given as a caught behind. I thought it looked as though the umpire at the business end was not interested in that one, but caught behind is the call. So Zirak Ijaz then has to go. A little bit of an inside edge by the looks of it, and he has to depart. So that's the first wicket down this evening. So umpire will be 20 for 1 as number 43, Mr. Jonathan Skamans, who is stand-in skipper this evening. Apparently, normal Empire Lions skipper, Mr. Amjad Sher, has had a bit of dodgy curry then last week and had a bit of a dicky tummy. Couldn't turn out. So he's actually down as not even 12th man this evening. He's down as 13th spare man carry the drinks and wear the bibs this evening. So that's Amjad Chair watching from the sidelines. And I can see he hasn't got a bib on, so I could ask my partner to go and have a word with him that he should have. In the box here is Mr. Skamans, Jonathan Skamans, right-handed batter. Picked up a little bit of a quad niggle at the weekend in the T10. And no comments about how he got out, nor who the bowler was. Shan't make any mention of that. Let's ask online whether anybody is aware of how Mr. Jonathan Skamans was out on Sunday. But in the second game, I believe, of the Empire Lions weekend. So here we go, 28 coming in the bowl to Jonathan Skamans. Flicks him off his legs. Lovely little elegant shot to get off the mark. No doubt that'll make him feel good. Little confident glance off the legs brings a single off the first ball that he faces. Just backward of the umpire at square leg, which brings his partner Vanraj Singh Padal back onto strike. Number 28, Sohail Amin to continue. And there's no single there, just points out the inner circle fielder at extra cover, then woken up a little bit, perhaps from the single that he managed to not stop then in the previous over, and managed to get in the way of that one. So that'll be third over is now completed. Mr. Amin with a bit of a wayward first over has gone for 16, so 2 overs, 1 for 16 currently, his figures. And leaving Empire on 21 for 1 off the first 3 overs, which again, my mathematics to be trusted, is still 7 over as they were after the second. So consistently scoring runs here in the first few overs, the Empire batters. So that'll be number 44 to continue. Left arm over Naveed Shahid to Skamans. Blocks that one, calls his partner through for a quick single. Looks to me that he was well in. Nice throw from the field though. Had to get his skates on. Fortunately for his national team colleagues and all the other viewers, the S&C and the national team coach and everybody else is watching, then perhaps there could be some truth that Mr. Vanraj Singh Padal has been doing a lot of running this winter. By the looks of that, so has Mr. Skamans. I think he's lost a few kilos since the last time we saw him last season. Both of them coming through for the quick single there, looking very sprightly, gazelle-like almost. It's number 44, left arm over Naveed Shahid to continue to Padal. Little floaty one there. Straight to the mid-wicket fielder. He managed to pick that one there last minute. Didn't get fooled by the bowler. A couple of the SKK batters then did get fooled by that one in the previous FPL game. I think Shahid picks up 3. Ooh, don't put it there, one would say. Early doors. Give him a nice juicy short one, and there's only one place that Vanraj is going to put that one, quite rightly too. 4 runs. It's the boundary fence. Didn't even bring in the apparently slowish outfield into play. Literally one ball and bang into the fence. Lovely shot. One that I would have played back in the day. Oh, wait a minute. I'm a seaman. I wouldn't play back in the day. I wouldn't have bowled it. Never mind. Anyway, another 4 on the score. Takes Vanraj to 14 off 14. Ooh, looks like he's getting carried away though. He's just hit a boundary, perhaps not the smartest of moves there. Comes premeditatedly by the looks of it down the wicket to the left arm seamer, and lucky to get away with that one. Nice ball, better length than the previous delivery. Continuing from the Burton end. On his legs. Guided nicely away to mid-wicket, just take an easy single there. Skamans makes it easily enough down the other end. There's no issue in terms of any risk of a run out. That'll be another one to the total. 27 for 1 being the score. Nicely balanced start here. We've got the last ball of the 4th over, which Shahid will bowl to Skamans. Lovely little full delivery, trying perhaps to bring that Yorker back into the right-handed batsman, and Skamans is good enough to read it and keep it out, which he did well. Straight to the fielder though, so that's another dot. And total remains unchanged on 27 off what is now the completed first 4 overs of the innings this evening in this glorious sun-basked Kerava National Cricket Ground. Fantastic conditions for cricket this evening. Glad to have you all with us. Millions of people that are watching around the world on our partner ECN network this evening. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Have some comments on the chat. Not to say that I'll be as good as my colleague Marcel Burton, who's not here this evening. Never mind the doyen of commentating the world's #1, apparently ranked commentator in the world at the moment, Richard Savage, who happens to be in the side for the Empire Lines this evening, no less. Let's see whether he ends up with a better strike rate than he had last time he turned out. Looked like he was batting in a test match. Never mind a T20. And yeah, Johnny Solomon's, of course, at the back of the hut here, who's doing all sorts of other jobs, bringing me tea and things this evening. So he's not on the mic either. That's a wide ball. A strangled cry from, I don't know, was that number 7? Didn't spot the change of bowler. Number 7, Mr. Kashif. Let's see, my reliable scorer next to me here is, yep, correct, 100% correct. Young scorer at the National Ground this evening. #1 scorer in Europe as well, apparently. So I've heard number 7 coming into Van Raj Singh. That's another wide ball. So Kashif's radar is a little bit off here in his first 2 balls of his first over. Ball quite tightly over the last game that he played in. Got a bit of tap late on, but let's see if we can get his radar on target. There we go. Straight one. Yes, no call. The batters decide not to go. Skaman sending his partner back. And that's no run. Andrew, you're improving every game. Apparently, has been written on the YouTube feed. I'm not quite sure about that. Must be another Andrew. So only a number 7 to continue to Van Raj Singh Padal. Blocks that one again, straight to mid-wicket, and it's straight to the fielder with the same result as the previous ball. That'll be another dot. Nothing wrong with that at this moment in time. With the score on 29 for 1 in the 5th over. They'll be quite happy to look at the good balls at this stage of the innings. As he opens his mouth, as the batsman opens his shoulders, that's a lovely shot, straight over, back over the bowler's head, into the boundary fence, just by the side of the sight screen, and that's 4 runs. Lovely, easy, languid shot, played straight back, past the bowler from Van Raj. Almost elegant, one would say. Almost. Let's not get carried away. Kashif to continue. A little bit short, again on his legs, not really learning. Anybody watching this game this evening will know already, if they haven't seen it in the previous game. No, they couldn't have seen it in the previous game. He wasn't hanging around that long. Van Raj certainly likes it on his legs. Little wristy flick. Single just the right-hand side of the square leg fielder. Or it could have been mid-wicket fielder. I'm talking too much. Should have been focusing on who the fielder was. But anyways, came through for a single. Skaman to face. Carefully dabs that one down again. A lovely little glance. Managing that better than he's done in the last few seasons. I think when we've been watching him, he's been opening the face a little bit too much and guiding that one almost straight to the keeper. So he's obviously been working that one in the winter. Guided that one nicely all along the ground. Single every time. Just to the third man fielder on the ring. As that's Singh to continue. Singh, Van Raj even to continue. That's a dot ball. Nice straight ball. Fortunately, no commentator's curse on that one after the nice boundary that he hit previously. Have a careful watch. Have a look at the straight one, early doors. Be the coaching tips for him, I think, at this point of the evening. 35 for 1 at the end of 5, and if I'm not correct, then that would be 7 and over again, chaps. Nod in the shed. It's good to see that mathematical prowess still exists in this part of the world. So 5 overs gone, 7 and over at the moment. Empire scoring, and who have we got next coming on to bowl the 6th and final over of the power play? That'd be number 96, I think, which is Mr. Rizwan Ali. Looks like a right arm over the wicket action from here as Skamans is ready to face. Jogs in, and there's a misfield as well at the cover Cover fielder on the just on the ring, coming in a little bit slowly again with the bowler there, and there's an easy single for these guys to call through. Both of them sharp to the situation. No real risk on there, even if he had collected it cleanly, I think. Interesting action for this bowler, a little bit. Let's have another look at one before I make any further comments. And that'll again be a single just to Van Raj. That's just picked up a single to the short mid-on fielder. I don't know. It's almost like a little bit of a Jimmy Anderson approach there to the wicket, as the bowler's looking clearly down at his feet when he delivers the ball, not where the ball's going. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Although there's something wrong with that, as Skamans dispatches that with disdain to the backward square leg boundary. There's 4 runs as soon as it left the bat. I think I'd say that it was such a sweet sound as Mr. Jordan O'Brien's bat then the other day off that lovely piece of willow that he was wielding there on Sunday with 83 off about 30 balls. But still, that's plenty of time to go in this innings for him to Skamans to catch up with that run rate. That's a lovely shot. 4 runs immediately. Number 96 to continue to bowl to him. Let's see where he puts this next one. Ooh. I was just going to say it looks like he's going to get the same treatment, but just jumped on him a little bit there, perhaps higher than he expected, and turns that one still around the corner for a controlled single, just a backward square leg. Taking the score on to 42 for the loss of 1 wicket. Mr. Zirak Hijaz, who was out caught behind. So there is one alley to continue. To Van Raj, who again pumps him over there. It's a similar shot than he played in the first over. Let's see, he's not quite got as much on that one, but I think it's going to go down the hill, and it will be 4 runs. Just trickles over the boundary rope. Gave him a bit of width, similar treatment. They haven't got a sweeper out because it's still the last few balls, if not the last ball of the power play. So Van Raj easily clearing the inner circle fielders, who are the 2 fielders that have currently got out, is at backward square leg, so for the rubbish ball. And we've got a sort of a cow corner, so the 2 fielders out at the moment for the last ball of the 6th over of the last power play. Probably listened to me there, trying to do the same thing. Not quite as much width and offer there. Goes past the outside edge of the bat, and that'll be the end of the power play. 6 overs are up, and that's 46 for 1 on the board. I think, looking at the present situation, Empire probably slightly happier of the 2 sides at the moment of this current status of the game. Well, class, says Deepak Coutinho. I don't know who he is, but he's certainly got a good head on his shoulders. Thanks for that comment then, Deepak. Yeah, I do have to agree with you. And it's going to be number 7 to continue. Mr. Muhammad Kashif with his right arm over action. It'll be Skamans that's facing. A few changes to the field. They've decided to put the point fielder out in the sweeping position. Skamans then has a look at that and immediately dabs it misfield as well. Plenty of time to come through for the single and have a cup of tea. Even time to think about a second. I think it was that slow in getting that one back in, but just a single added to the score. Other fielders out now. The power play is finished. We've got a fine, no, not so fine leg. We've got a backward square leg out on the boundary. We've got a 3rd man. We've got a point fielder 2/3 of the way. Knows the call. Sharper from the fielder there at and backward point. Looks like it might well be. I didn't see his number. I won't make any claims yet. And we have a long off and fielding. As Van Raj hits that one again to the same field, a little bit more bat on that one. Nice sound off the willow. That's picked up cleanly by the backward point fielder, and that'll be another dot. So we've got a cow cornery sort of deep wide mid-on fielder as well. That's the other fielder that's out. And that's nudged through for the single. They'll be easy on there. Another fumble. Perhaps they'll come back for the second. They will indeed. These two national team Finnish gazelles making that one look really simple. A poor misfield by the Helsinki Markos fielder there. He should have been pushing to stop the single, to be frank, and they ended up with 2 runs. Took his eye off the ball, let that one pass his hand, and it'll be now Kashif to come in again to Vanraj. Carefully guides that one down. Skamans calls him through. Thinks he's down at the danger end. Makes it. I think by the looks of that one, even a direct hit probably wouldn't have troubled him there. He was that quick off the mark. Some quick singles gone. It's good to see. Nice cricket. 50's up as well, I hear. Which, if I was sharper on the commentary, I would have seen myself. But so it's good that we've got a few colleagues in the box this evening, keeping me awake. Skamans to face. Ooh, big flash at that one. Goes past his outside edge. And that'll bring up the end of the over. Scores on the doors. 50 for the loss of 1 wicket, and that would be 7 overs. 7 overs on the door, 50 for 1. What have we got so far on our partner scorers pad? Cricket HQ projected score 159. Batting teams win probability 53%. Interesting. Partnership of 30 runs so far for these two, Skamans and Pedal. 2 colleagues from the Finnish national side that are used to playing together for the last few years. I have to say, from a viewer's perspective, there's probably around about 25% less in terms of mass of the 2 of them all together. If we calculate the number of kilos that these chaps have lost in the off-season, under the lash of the S&C coaches of the Finnish national side, thrashing them out through the snow, the galing winds, forcing them onto the streets, running, and a bit of CrossFit in between. There's 96. Rizwan Ali continues. Padal faces him, pulls him away, doesn't quite make full contact with that one. I thought then for a minute that the field was going to be in business, but a couple of bounces before it gets out to the backward square leg fielder, and they come through for a single. Taking the score to 51 for the loss of 1 wicket. Absolutely gorgeous evening here. Guaranteed to be even hotter tomorrow, so here we go, continuing to Skamans, and again, short, he's just dabbed that one. Ooh, dear, one has to say that third man fielder was in business there, but for some strange reason, I don't know what that was. Did he misjudge it, or did he not want to go for it? Viewers can make up their own mind. No doubt the camera followed that one all the way down. Skamans gets away with one there, really. Uppish glide, which perhaps he should have either punched or left them totally. Continues to Vanraj. And that's, yep, wide is the signal. That'll be another one to the total. A little bit wayward, this young bowler. Nice little rhythmical action. I think, as I said earlier on commentary, it reminds me a little bit of Jimmy Anderson on his through the crease approach, looking down at his feet as he releases the ball. Comes in again now to Vanraj. Full ball. Smashed that one. Got what it deserved, I have to say. Creamed it over extra cover. Not giving his national team colleague, Mr. Zia Rehman, on the ring any chance whatsoever with that one. Literally just turned round and watched as it flashed over the boundary. Lovely shot to a bad ball, that has to be said. Full toss, got what it deserved. Number 96 continue, ride him over the wicket to Vanraj. Getting his eye in here with some of this stuff. Glides it down to the third man. They're going to come back for a 2. No. Good arm. Returns that one to the keeper, and they'll just take a single. Bringing Skamans back onto strike, and we have 2 balls left in the over. For him to have another look at number 96, Rizwan Jimmy Anderson Ali. Approaches the wicket. Nudges that one away and calls him through a quick single. Ooh, yep, I was going to say the fielder was in business there, but another fumble. Greasy fingers for these Gurdi Helsinki Markos fielders this evening, it seems, in the ring. Not too many clean grabs. That's the batman off. The batter's off there for what could have been a chance, but as it was, single onto the score. No problem whatsoever. So it'll be the last ball of the 8th over of the innings to Van Raj Singh Padal. That's a better delivery. Straighter ball. Van just guides it down to the fielder again at a backward point, and that'll be the end of the over. Bowler number 20 to continue from the Burton end. Looks like the chap that was down at third man last over that didn't really look though he was interested in going for that catch. That Skaman skied off that short ball. That'll be Iatazaz Hussain to bowl the 9th over of the innings, I believe, as he looks at the scorer for a nod and gets one in return. Bit of a scratchy approach, decides to curtail his run-up. Coming in again for his first ball to Skamans. Loopy, lobby, something or other, right arm over. Have another look at one before I describe what that was. But anyway, it's a single. Skamans then dabs that one nicely through mid-wicket. Easy one there. Could make his mind up what to do with that one. I think that much time to think about it. So let's see what Mr. Hussain is going to deliver next. Ooh, down the leg side, just flicks off the keeper's pad, I think that was. And it's a wide as well. Yep. So they'll take one run in addition to the wide. That flicked the keeper's pad, just took the zing bails off and carried on behind the keeper, and they'll come through for another single to the total. 2 wides, taking us to 62 for 1 currently. This game is to face. Ooh, nearly guys that one. Again, a little bit of commentator's curse going on there. I just said to him a couple of overs back that he's giving it full face guide past the third man fielder. He's almost guided that one straight into the keeper's gloves. It's not what the doctor ordered. Continue to face. This game is now closer to the fielder, who's a bit sharper to this one. And there's no run. Well fielded. Straight back into the keeper. That's how we should have fielded the previous one. So I'll be pleased with that, no doubt. To continue to Skamans. Ooh, he's mullered that one. Is it going to be? No, it's again a couple of bounces short of the fielder. Skamans gets away with another one. Can't help but he's running a bit of a risky line here. If he's going to pump that one, then pump it hard. Otherwise, roll over the wrists, play it along the ground. That's what I'd say. Well, what would I know? I was a seamer. Anyway, that's Van Raj Singh Padal to continue to face. Has a little nurdle. Yep, not far enough. Didn't get enough bat in that one. Keeper just comes round, gathers and avoids the single being scored. So that's another dot. And correct, Faisal. Yep, the grass has indeed been mowed, and it is notably faster. It's sunny and dry as well this evening, so I think we'll probably see it get quicker as the evening goes on. As Van Raj then takes a risky single. Ooh, dive and just makes his ground. There's going to be overthrows here. Manages to get himself up. Down the other end. They're going to come back for a third. Yep. Skamans will no doubt take note of that he's certainly made the 3 quicker than his partner there with the dive. Have a bit of an adjustment of his kit. Interesting to see the replay on that one as to how close the run out would have been. Bit of a risky one, a good throw. Ooh, yeah, it was there and thereabouts. There and thereabouts, just getting in the dive. I think a direct hit might have seen that one in vain, but unfortunately we haven't got a 16 camera production that I could actually look at that one on the replay here this evening. And then with the nobody backing up at the bowler's end, so we had 2 overthrows, so 3 runs at the end of that over. 66 for 1 being the scores on the doors at the end of 9 overs. Number 7 to continue, which is Mr. Muhammad Kashif, bowling his right arm over as Empire Lions batter Vanraj Singh Padal adjusting his equipment after that desperate dive, that last ball of the previous over. Let's hope he's got all of his accoutrements in order. 37 off 34 balls with 5 fours so far this evening to Vanraj. Guys that one away, lovely little shot, yep. I have to say, I think these Greater Helsinki Macros fielders need to be thinking about this. Where's the skipper? These guys are just guiding them to plays on the ring that are not cutting off the single. Have to be sharper. Number 7 to continue to Skamins. This time, yep, fielder gets round quickly enough. That Vanraj sends his partner Jonathan Skamins back, because there's no single there. Dot ball. So it'll be Kashif to continue. There we have. There's a bit of a play repeat going on here. The Empire Lions batters quite clearly just happy to dab to the inner circle fielder, and either side of them come through for the single. As I suspect that was a Finnair jet that just went past over ahead of us. Whoa! Vanraj advances down the wicket. A little bit of premeditation again, and the field doesn't take that one cleanly. They're going to come through for the second. Always a 2 on there if he didn't gather, and sure enough, fielder didn't gather. That looks like number 00. Unfortunately for him, without the 7. Mr. Asad Ijaz fumbling in the field. That's Vanraj Singh to continue. Guides it this time straight to the fielder rather than either side of him. That'll be a dot. Skamins with allowed no call to his partner. Good little partnership being created here. The guy's not ball watching too much. Placing the ball nicely on the other side of the fielders, and that'll probably be another wide. Vanraj tries to guide that one around the corner, but it was too wide for him to get any contact on. There'll be another wide added to the total. Takes the Empire Lions to 71. What will be the last ball of this over? Last legitimate ball of the over. Oh, here we go. As soon as I said that they were taking these tight singles, then have a bit of hesitation. Ball straight to the inner circle fielder there at point, and there was a yes-no. Fortunately for the Empire Lions, not a sorry, but a yes-no and then another no, and they didn't go through for the single. That'll bring up the end of the over. Scores on the doors, halfway point through this innings, 71 for 1 with a projected score of 155 at the moment. I'm reliably informed. Batting teams win probability 51%. I always figured out that algorithm, but somebody far smarter than I. 7.1 is the run rate at the moment. That'll be number 20 to continue from the hallowed Burton end, Mr. Hussain. To Jonathan Skamins, who pumps that one nicely, then past the left arm of the bowler. Long off fielder, a little bit slow coming in, and Vanraj decides to take one on the arm and gets one on the arm. That'll come through for the nice single, nice 2. Number 28, who I believe is Mr. Sohail Amin here at long on. Not cutting that one off quickly enough. Adjusting his field then slightly here, leaving the long on 3/4 of the way out. Skamins continues to face, tries to guide that one around the corner. And not only tries to get any bat in that. Let's see who the umpires. Oh, yeah, he's given a wide. 1 run taken on the wide, so that'll be 2 wides to the score. Vanraj to continue facing. Oh, guys, that one down. Skamins coming to the danger end. Looked as though, that was a bit of a dodgy call. I think that in trouble at either ends, whichever one they'd chosen. Quite clearly, Vanraj not expecting his partner to call him through. Keeper had a shy at the striker's end, his end, and Skamins is still there. Vanraj Singh as well. So All things happening here down at the Kerava National Ground this evening. As number 20, Mr. Hussein, will continue. This game is facing guys one, and there's another fumble. Goes past this square leg fielder. Buttery fingers on offer this evening by the looks of it. That's another easy 2 for the batters as soon as that passed the inner circle fielder there at just forward of the square leg umpire. Really should have cut that one off in any game of cricket, let's face it. But they'll get 2. Skamans will be pleased about that. Continuing. Dabs it down again, this time the short third man backward, sort of backward gully pointish, not quite point, backward point position. Quick enough onto the ball this time. That's another dot. Skamans to continue to face. Slaps that one between point and extra cover. Easy single. Number 18, his national team Bears colleague, Mr. Zia Rehman, awake to what was happening but couldn't stop the single. Ball passing him to his left, and that brings Van Raj Singh onto the strike. Bit of field changing here as the long off then comes back nearer to the boundary, and that's, well, got what it deserved, but there's a fielder out there. He's going to take one on the arm. No, not this time. The call is no. Probably the right call, I think. Not exactly a rocket arm out there, but not too bad an arm either. So they'll just satisfied with the single. He'd be disappointed not putting that one away, I think. All the time in the world. Short rank delivery. Looking to be hit for the boundary and only managed to get a single. Taking the score to 80 at the end of the 11th over. Run rate of 7.27, I'm reliably informed. Number 7 to continue from the Burton end. Mr. Kashif, right arm over. Oh, has he caught that one? Is he going to make it over the fielder? Oh, and the long off fielder drops him. Didn't quite get enough beef on that one then, Van Raj. You're going to go for those one, follow through, hit it properly, don't tap it. Got away with it this time though. Number 28, dropping him just short of the boundary. Wonder whether that'll be a costly drop. This game is to continue facing. Comes through for a quick single again there. Wonder whether there was any bat in that one. No, it must have been. I thought it was going to be leg byes there for a second, but no. Caught a bit of bat. This game is taking the single. Off the second ball of the over. Van Raj being given one chance this evening. Let's see how he develops his innings from here. Quite clearly premeditating, not quite sure why. Wasn't really there to be hit. National team coach, no doubt, watching this one, making notes. No need for that at this point of the innings, to be honest. My humble opinion, of course. Viewers may be of a different opinion. To continue. Yep, little guide around the corner from Van Raj. Keeper couldn't quite get it cleanly. Skaman's coming through for the single easily enough. Leg byes. No bat on that one. Leg byes, leg byes. Onto the score. One round is Kashif, that's coming into Skaman's facing now in the next delivery. Again. Oh, I was just about to say that looks as though he's going to clear that short third man fielder who juggled, parried it, and managed to hold on. So that's Mr. Azaz Hussain. That's the bowler of the previous over that takes that catch. So Skamans has to depart, which will bring number 19, his national team, another national team colleague, Mr. Shoaib Tahir Qureshi, to the wicket, a new recent transfer to the Empire Lions. Skamans ending up with, let's have a scores on the doors. What did we end up with here? Ooh, 21 in 33 minutes from 23 balls. Nice little knock. Didn't quite look as though he was ever really in, to be honest. It's a little bit scratchy, a little bit edgy. Couple of nice shots, but a fair bit of premeditation going on here at the moment. Don't think it's really required at this moment in time. Both batters, actually. So that's going to be the batters crossed. That's number 7, Kashif, to continue. Took the last wickets. Van Raj will face. There's no run there as the bowler follows through, gathers the ball cleanly, and the call is no. That'll be the end of the 12th. Batting team's win probability has gone down by a single percentage point to 50, so we are a 2-team game here. I still reckon that my prediction of either the Empire Lions or the Greater Helsinki Marcos as the winner this evening is still on. I wonder what the odds are on a tie. There we go. Number 20 to continue. It'll be Mr. Iatazaz Hussain to bowl what will be his 3rd over. Figures of 2 for 15. No wickets so far this evening. It's Shoaib Qureshi to face his first ball of this innings. Lobbed up again just outside the off stump, and Qureshi then dabs that one wide to the left arm of the long off fielder that's coming in to just outside the ring to make sure that the batters didn't come through for a 2 at least. They'll take a single. Qureshi off the mark. Let's see Van Raj facing again. Loopy, another loopy delivery through wide mid-wicket, and he's going to come through for the second. Qureshi to the danger end. Ooh, good throw. Would have seen him in trouble there. As it is, throw just wide of the stumps, and that's 2 runs added to the total off the bat of Mr. Padal, who will continue to face. Loopy ball, not quite in the block hole there, but near enough that he couldn't really get it away all that well. Free his arms. Just guides it through to the cover fielder just outside of the inner ring, and that's a single, so Qureshi will continue. Ooh, guided, and yeah, he's made it safely home. Qureshi guides that one just to the right hand of the square leg fielder, who picks it up nicely. Keeper with a nice take as well, but doesn't quite manage to do all of that quickly enough to send Van Raj Singh Padal back to the shed. So he made his ground, single to the score. Qureshi moves on to 2 from 2 with his partner, Mr. Van Raj Singh Padal, the opener for the Lions this evening, on 45 from 46 balls, so just shy of a 100 striker himself. Will face the next delivery from number 20, right arm over from the Burton and Mr. Hussain continuing. Loopy delivery straight to Zia Rehman at short extra, and there's no run there. Manages to field it cleanly. Van Raj Singh Padal to continue. Gives a bit of width. Swipes at that one. Again, just to the cover fielder outside of the ring, and they'll take an easy single. Cleanly fielded. There was no question about there being a 2 on there. That'll bring us to the end of the 13th over, with the score currently on 89 for the loss of 2 wickets. Let's have a quick look at the feed. Anything interesting going on? Important that cricket is spreading. For once, I have to agree with you, Vinny. Exactly the issue here. Cricket is spreading all over the place. From Vanuatu to Finland. Of all places. Not quite sure whether there's too many countries that are further away from each other in the wonderful world of cricket, but it'll be number 18. National team, mainly middle order batsman in the national side, Mohammad Zia Rehman, who on commentary the last game that he turned out, we saw all sorts of shenanigans, wides, hitting helmets, all sorts of interesting signals going on, and runs being scored in all sorts of strange places. So let's see whether he's been working on his bowling in the last few days as he approaches the wicket. Van Raj Singh facing. Ooh, doesn't look as though he's been practicing too much, but it looks at that one. Rank delivery down the leg side, short, wide. You'd have to say that if the umpire had it in the powers, that he'd given that more than a single for the wide. It certainly deserved more than a single. Horrible delivery to start. Let's see if Zia Rehman can get his act together and put the ball in the right areas. First legitimate delivery. Nope, down the leg side. Van Raj then guiding that one. Just the backward square leg boundary fielder coming round, stopping the 2. Nice clean gather. And that'll take Pedal to 47 off 49. Bringing his partner, his relatively new partner, Shoaib Qureshi, to the crease to face his third delivery of this innings. Yeah, another one. Short, wide. Ugh. Asking to be hit, and it was. Fortunate that he didn't put more on it than that early on in his innings. I have to say that was asking to be slapped to the boundary, but a single will be recorded. So Qureshi moves on to 3 from 3. Bringing his senior opening partner to face Van Raj. Right, I'm over. Just guided that one. He's going to come through. He's calling through, and pressure on the fielder there. And the pressure shows. There's a bit of a fumble. Doesn't manage to gather the ball, and the batters then come through easy enough for a single. Qureshi putting in a bit of a dive there at the end, thinking that the fielder was going to collect that one. He didn't. And that's an easy single at the end of the day. So Qureshi reorganizing his equipment after that dive into the crease. Gives Rahman some time to consider what his next delivery will be. As he faces Rahman coming to the crease. Short again. Ooh, juicy edge on that short delivery, which passes the keeper and the short, it's almost like a fly slip fielder just on the ring, and they'll come through for 2, an easy 2 at the end of the day. Just got enough bat on that not to be any issue there for the keeper to be interested. Rahman struggling for his length this evening so far. Let's see, next delivery to Qureshi. Slightly better length there. And a better result from his perspective. Dot ball. A welcome dot ball for Mr. Rahman. Those are the areas that he wants to be looking for. Qureshi will continue. Oof. I think somebody better tell him that he's not quick. Pitching them wrong half of the pitch at the moment, Mr. Rahman. I don't know what he's really planning on there, but he's likely to get dispatched all the rest of the evening if he continues with that. Qureshi, however, early on in his innings doesn't manage to put it away for more than a single, and that brings up the end of Zia Rahman's over. That's gone for 7. I seem to recollect him going at something like 54 and over halfway through his first over of the first game, so a significant improvement from a numbers perspective, but looking at what he was throwing down there, it's certainly not the express pace that one would think he'd need to have if he's going to be bowling in those areas. That's going to be put away all evening. Anybody that's got any sense about batting, and a bat in their hand, to be honest, it'd be enough. Either smash it or absolutely smash it. Those sorts of deliveries. Let's see whether the skipper decides to keep him on. Change of bowling. Bowler number 1, which is number 28 on the shirt of Sohail Amin, who took the first over of the evening earlier on today. And he is going to be continuing to Qureshi, who is managing to keep up with his 100 striker at the moment, 6 from 6. Let's see what he does with this one, new bowler for him to face. Full ball, calls him through for the single, coming through to the danger end. One would have thought, if Mr. Rahman, probably thinking about all of that short rubbish that he was bowling in the previous over, not focusing on the ball, doesn't manage to take a clean grab, and they come through for a single. Van Raj on 48, facing, what's he going to do with this one? He just guides that one away, says wait first, there's a call, but he realizes it's in the gap. That takes him to 49. Bowler and mid-wicket fielder then coming together just to field that one. Easy single. 49 from 51 for Van Raj Pedal. And that'll bring on Qureshi to face, who is still on a 100 strike rate, 7 from 7 currently. As Sohail Amin, the Greater Helsinki Marcos opening bowler, will continue. I was going to say they're a nicer looking ball, but they thought for a minute there he was looking for a Yorker length. Didn't quite find it, and it ended up being a half volley, and that's a 4 runs. A lovely shot through extra cover. bringing up the 100 for the Empire Lions. Still to say that we don't have more than 50 people in the ground this evening, so we are in accordance with government regulations. The Empire boys making a bit of noise this evening, which is good to hear. One would think that there was more of them. And it's Qureshi to continue to face. Nice little guide through to short mid-on, just on the ring, come through for a single, which brings his partner Vanraj Singh Padal back onto the strike, and he's on 49. Let's see what he does with this one. Let's see his score on the scoreboard. Facing, ooh, he gets a nice full toss, and he's going to be happy with that. He certainly would be happy with that, because that brings up his 50. Couldn't have asked for a nicer lollipop to bring up a 50, and he raises his bat to the scorer's box, acknowledging with the green light. 50 runs scored. I'm not quite sure if we've seen too many 50s in this T20 FPL so far this season. We've seen some in the T10, but not quite sure in the T20. We'll have to have a look at that one. Not sure whether any of our viewers could give their opinion on that one, but there's a single to Qureshi as he punches that one to straight to mid-on. And that will be, I think, that the end of the over. Yep, I'm reliably informed again by Finland's #1 scorer this evening. That's 15 overs up, 105 for 2 being the scores underdoors. And look, strangely enough, it's a run rate of 7 and over. I seem to have said that a few times this evening. Which off 20 would take us to 140 with a Cricket HQ projected score of 148. Cricket HQ quite clearly thinking that Rehman is not going to bowl the same bag of bits and pieces that he bowled in the last over. Let's see whether he gets his length sorted out now as he comes into Qureshi. I think that's facing, yes, Qureshi's facing. No, he doesn't. That's rank again. That's got what it deserved, you have to say that. I think Qureshi must have been listening to me in the previous over. Pumped that one away to the square boundary fence, square leg side, square leg fence. That's 4 runs, there's no fielder down there. Don't even have to think about a run. Faster outfield this evening, and lovely glide to what was let's face it, a rank delivery, but still got to put it away, and the batsman obliged. That takes Qureshi to 17 from 11, so his strike rate now up above 150. He'll be pleased with that. Trying to get himself settled. Rehman to continue. Yep. Slightly better length, but not good enough to... And are they going to come back for a second? Yes, they are. Qureshi scampers through. Again, another product of the national Finnish men's... The Bears national squad. Fitness program this winter for all of these guys. Looking sprightly between the wickets. Not much more of a pre-season, I have to say, apart from the running. So, cricket-wise, maybe a bit of a struggle, but they're fit. That certainly looks that way at the moment. Again, Rehman with, let's have to say, his rank length. It's getting put away, and it looks as though he's not quite got as much bat on that one. They're going to come for 2. They're going to try and get the 3. Yes, they are. Vanraj then calls his partner through for the 3rd to the danger end. Makes the 3rd easy enough. Taking the score on to 114 for 2. That would have been 3 runs scored off that ball, so we missed 111 Nelson off the previous delivery. Ah, dear, oh dear. Sharper commentary in the box. Number 18, Rehman, will continue. His figures get a bit of a hammer here. He's gone for 16 off 9 so far, so let's see whether he can sort his radar out, get that length sorted out. Yep, premeditation from Vanraj, but you have to say that if anything, premeditate what's coming down from Rehman this evening, then he'd be the bowler to choose. Not getting anything in any areas at the moment. Rehman struggling quite clearly. 17 gone off his first 10 legitimate balls this evening of his first 2 overs, which will take Vanraj on at 51 and Qureshi's to face. Oh, gets away with that one. Another short delivery. He's not quick enough to bowl short. He's not quick enough to get it above the batsman's waist height, really, and should have dispatched that one. A little bit more width on it. Swing and a miss from Qureshi through to the keeper. That'll be a dot, a welcome dot. I'm not quite sure whether they've seen dot off Rehman this evening. First one, I suspect. Continues. Qureshi to face again. Yep, pumped away. Padal makes that one easily enough. There's 2 runs. not too au fait with my umpiring and regulations, but I think by the look at the way Rehman's bowling this evening, I'd probably have more people on the leg side boundary. I'm not quite sure. Is it 5? You know, is the maximum, is it? Yep, getting a nod in the box. The organisation commentators, certainly not an umpire, nor anybody that would have a claim to know all of the laws and regulations and PCs and everything else that we've got going on here this evening. And in any case, I would put whatever that maximum number of fielders out there if I've got Rehman on the way he's bowling this evening. But he comes to the end of his second over, 19 runs taken off his bowling, 16 overs, 117 for 2 is the score. That's 4 overs remaining at the moment. Projected score of 153, number 28 to continue, who is Mr. Sohail Amin, the opening bowler, to Padal. Slingy action, slaps that one past Rehman at cover. Are they going to think about the second? Nope. The fielder manages to come round quickly enough. Bit of a fumble from the bowler, but it's backed up. Fortunately, there's only a single then in this case. Seem to have some rowdy kids on the field this evening. Who's let them in? Qureshi to continue facing. Pumps that one. Doesn't quite get a clean strike on the ball. And then Padal picking out his fielder there here. This number 7, Kashif, comes round from long off. Doesn't manage to cut off the 2. Easy 2 in the end. Qureshi moves on to 26 from 16. Strike rate of 162.5 for him so far. With that's 3.4 overs remaining this evening of the first innings, as Amin continues. Oh yeah, nice little guide around the corner. Did he get enough bat on that one? It looks like it's trickling away. Yes, it does go for a boundary. I was just about to say that's the shadowy part of the field, but enough on it to go all the way to the boundary. 4 runs to Qureshi. A little bit lost his balance, it seemed there, but managed to get enough bat on it. Perhaps thinking about some sort of a one-knee sweep shot, but didn't manage to follow through with that, but still got enough bat on it to take it past the keeper and down to the fine leg boundary for 4 runs. So I mean to continue. Qureshi facing. Ooh, approaches, comes down the wicket to the bowler, managed to get enough bat on it. Bowler probably spotted him coming there and tried to push it out wider. Qureshi then reaching to his offside and squeezing that one away past the point fielder for 2 runs. Taking him to 32 from 18 deliveries. 126 for 2 the score at the moment. From 16.4. That means to continue. Slingy action, full delivery, not quite in the block hole. Looks like Qureshi then took that one on the full and has just come through for a single. Probably a draw, you'd say, in football terms there for the batter and the bowler. The bowler looking for the Yorker, not quite getting it. The batter not also then quite reading the flight and not really getting hold of what ended up being just about a full toss. So that'll bring Padal on to strike for what will be the last legitimate ball of this over. Let's see what he does. Premeditates, gets a bit of elevation on that one, just over the ring. Zia Rehman not quick enough to cut that one off and throws it through to the bowler's end, and there's no take by the bowler, and that'll come through for an easy 2 to Padal. That takes him to 54 from 55. His partner Qureshi on 33 from 19 balls, and the score at the end of the 17th, 129 for 2. What have we got projected? 158, the projected score for the batting team, and currently with a win probability of 49, so that's dropped slightly from the percentage early doors. I have to say that algorithms would be thinking that they should be pushing it further on than 7.59. Score rate strike rate so far this evening. 44 will be to continue, which is Naveed Shahid, the left armer. He's coming left arm around the wicket now to Qureshi. Yep, right in the block hole. Qureshi manages to dig that one out, and there's just a single there as the bowler gathers the ball to his left, just at short extra, bringing Padal back onto the strike, who is currently on 54, and Shahid bowling his 3rd over, so he's only gone for 11 off his first 2. Ball quite tidily early doors. Let's see what his last 2 then look like. Coming left arm round the wicket to Padal. Yep, bit of width. Wristy flick around the corner from Padal. He'll play those until the end of time. Keep bowling it there. He's not going to miss out on those little wristy flicks around the corner, having thrown him quite a fair few in my time, knowing that that's one of his favourite areas. Not giving anything away, of course, to our viewers. Number 44, Naveed Shahid, right arm, continuing around the wicket to Qureshi, who is currently on 34 off 20. Good length again there. It's looking quite clearly. It seems a similar tactic to the one that he employed in the earlier FPL game this week, Mr. Shahid. Nice and full, looking for those block hole deliveries. Qureshi advancing, but advancing to his leg side and not coming straight down the wicket at the bowler, giving himself too much to do, missing the full one. Fortunately for him, it missed the stumps as well, so that's a dot ball at this moment of the innings. Not what the doctors ordered for the umpire Lions, but let's see what the next delivery manages to guide that one around the corner. Is that past the fielder? Yes, it does. Passes the fielder, and that'll be 4 runs. Nice little glide, backward a square, made up for that previous ball that he faced. Pretty nondescript sort of a shot. Lovely little boundary. That'll give him another 4. It's his 4th boundary of the innings, his 4th 4 this evening. 38 from 22 he moves on to, giving the bowler something to think about. He's going to continue left arm around in what will be the 5th ball of the 18th. Yeah, pretty good length again. Qureshi managed to get that one past the Rehman on the ring cover. Extra cover then comes round just to gather that one, and they'll just take a single. Empire batters, you've got to say, and be looking for a little bit more than singles at this point of the innings, especially with both of them pretty well set. The partnership at 53 and just the 2.1 overs remaining. So opening his arms is what we're going to see here this evening, I think. Yeah, there we go. Is that going to clear the field, or is he going to catch it? No, not quite enough on it. Opened his arms, but unfortunately didn't have enough porridge this morning, nor enough sleep last night apparently with his youngsters. But anyway, a lovely innings comes to an end. Picks out the cow corner fielder. Bit more oomph on that one, and it would have been a 6R as it was. That's 55 for Padal in the book. Caught by number 15, Mr. Gulfam Nazir. Nice little catch, pouched it just short of the boundary. And that'll bring number 32, Yazir Ali, to the crease. Didn't make too many this weekend in the T10s. Let's see if he can do better today. Tends to hit a long ball once he gets in. Probably part of the strategy for the Empire Lions this evening. Put Yazir in to give it some tap for what will be the last 2 overs of the innings. Wicket's critically important here for the Marcos. Number 18, well, now that is an interesting decision, isn't it? Wouldn't have been my decision, that's for sure. Sounds like it's commentated coming from the umpire. Did I catch that one? The ramp, was it? Interesting. I wonder whether there's a little bit of banter going on out there between these national team boys. Anyway, it's going to be Rehman continue. Certainly, as I mentioned, wouldn't have been my choice, but there again, I don't know what sort of bowling armoury the skipper of the Greater Helsinki Marcos has got up his sleeve. But as it is, it's Rehman continue. He's got the Geoffrey Boycott style now with a cap on as he approaches the wicket. Yeah, his length has certainly not improved any, so the new style for his approach to the wicket has not changed that. Yazir Ali, however, smashes it straight to the fielder, and that'll be a dot ball. Rehman being given a 3rd over this evening. Let's see whether that is a decision that the skipper's going to rue. He's short of a length again there, but new batsman Yazir Ali at the crease not managing to pump that one away. Better for the Empire Lions, one would think, to get Qureshi on the strike. Just takes a single, gets him down to the other end, which brings Qureshi back to the business end, who's on 39 from 23 balls, and so far looking pretty good so far this evening. Rehman to continue, right arm over. Ooh, a wild slash at that one. Is the fielder going to come around and take that? Ooh, yes he does. Nice little catch. Looked at first whether he was going to make that or not. Number 60, I think that was, if my eyes did not deceive me. Mr. Adnan Ahmad. Are we agreed in the box here? Number 60? Yeah, my eyes don't deceive me. Jolly good. Well, here we go. Now, who's this? Number 33. The one and only. The world's current number 1 commentator on cricket, Mr. Richard Savage himself, the savage left-arm batsman. Qureshi having made, what did he make? Scorer kindly obliges. Let's see if the commentator can see it. 39 from 24 minutes and 24 balls. That's an easy one. I couldn't get that one wrong. So it's going to be Yazir Ali to continue to face as Rahman continue. Ooh, a wide slash at that one. Again, Empire Lions not really, I have to say, too much sense about the way they're batting at the moment here. 2 new batters and they're just premeditating and running to leg rather than running at the delivery. Ball's passing the edge, and that's a dot, something they want to avoid at this moment in time. A slower ball, and he misses that one as well. There's an appeal. I think the umpire looks too interested in that one. And not particularly well disguised slower ball. I think we spotted that one the other side of Helsinki, and we're not even in Helsinki, so but he got away with it. It's a dot. A dot in the book. Must have been a good delivery. This will be the last, if he bowls a legitimate delivery, this will be the last of the 19th over, the last of Mr. Rahman with the ball this evening, as he approaches Yazir Ali to face. No ball scored. Commentator's curse. Oh, keeper's not able to take a clean gather, a poor throw. No ball is the single, so that'll be a free hit. Managed to avoid running himself out, did Yazir Ali here, and Savage is going to come down and give him a savaging. Not quite sure what's going on here. Yazir Ali seems to be somewhere else this evening. Not realised that the umpire has signalled a no ball and he's got a free hit. Let's see what he does with this one. Slaps it, but unfortunately no further than through to extra cover. Savage is going to try and make his ground. Ooh! Fortunately for Savage, a little bit faster than yours truly between the wickets than yesterday. Or was it the day before? Day before. At this wonderful Kerava National Cricket Ground, coming back for a quick 2. Richard Savage, not yet faced, will face the first ball of the final over. Ali moves on to 3 from 6. He's had a couple of wild slashes at a few deliveries, and as you can see from his strike rate, only 50. Savage hopefully not in the same test match mode that he was in the last FPL game that we saw him perform in. 16 balls for a single or something along those lines, I remember correctly. If his batting is anything like his commentary, then this one will disappear out of the ground. Let's see who's going to bowl this last over. This number 44. Bowler of the second over. Left arm over the wicket by the looks of it, Mr. Naveed Shahid. Bowled very well so far this evening. 3 overs, 1 for 18. Keeping it tight, good lines, good lengths. Ooh, slap by Savage. Look at that. What an absolute savage slash that was indeed. Is he going to come back for a second? Pushing. Oh, my word. Bowler fails to gather what was a decent enough throw. And Yazir Ali makes his ground, so Savage will get 2 for that savage slash through the covers. With a strike rate of 200. Wow. What next? He's keeping up with me from the weekend. 2 off my first ball this weekend. First ball of the season, I may add. Oh, chips that one. Looks a little bit like a sand wedge of a shot. Goes to the left hand of Rahman, who was coming round from to Savage, the left-hander, which would be a left mid-wicket position. And he comes through for a single, so that'll take him to 3 from 2. Brings his partner Yazir Ali onto strike. We have 4 legitimate balls left of this innings. 143 for 4 the score on the doors. Yazir Ali doesn't quite catch that one. Just bounces just on the inner ring, and Savage is going to try and make it again. And this time, does he make his ground? I was just about to say he's not made his ground, but he has. My word, Savage with wheels. Look at this. Oh, what next? Is there anything this man can't do? Commentate, run between the wickets like a young gazelle. Made his ground, and that's going to be Ali to continue to face left arm around, this time from Shahid. Clips his pad. Come through for a single as the tens of Empire fans in the ground this evening. Asking Savage to run through for a second, even though there was no 2 there. That's a leg bye. Adds to the total, 146 for 4. Savage probably looking like he's going to need some oxygen out there. And his 12th man, and normally the skipper, Mr. Amjad Sher, is certainly not obliging. Turns his back on him. Savage, get fit, he says. I think by the looks of his body language. That's going to be Shahid to continue. And lovely little dab. Is Ali going to call him through for a 2? Yeah, he is coming back for a 2. And there's a fumble. There's no end to what Savage can achieve, it seems, on a cricket field in Finland this summer, 2020. My word. 19.5 overs gone, and the batting team probability of win remains around that 50%. 148 for 4. We've got 1 ball remaining of the innings. 1 legitimate ball of the innings. Shahid to bowl it, and Savage then savages the ball again. And the finger goes up at square leg, and that's run out. So Yazir Ali run out off the last ball. Savage doesn't add to his score. Yazir Ali departs, and that brings the innings to a close for a score of 148 for 4. 148 for 4. I think probably have to agree with the Cricket HQ batting team win probability of 50%. That's certainly a par score, it seems, so far on the beginning of this season. So I think Empire probably reasonably happy with that. I suspect that they would have liked another 15 or 20 runs added to the score, but still 148 is a defendable total. A little bit short of bowling though this evening, you have to say, for the Empire Lions. Their 2 main seamers not in action this evening, Amjad Sher and Mahesh Tambe, both out injured, which one has to say, savage hitting, Mr. Lovell. Yeah, agree entirely. Pick that one up there. Pick that one up very well. Half the job done. As I can hear Van Raj Singh say to his colleagues here in the to the left of the scorer's box here, located at what is a wide long off position to the right-handed batter here at the Kerava National Ground. Thoughts on that score? Let's hear what your opinions are on the ECN network chat this evening. 148. What do you think, folks? Is that going to be enough? Enough to defend? A little bit short of bowling this evening. Looking at the card for the Empire Lions. Let's see, what will we have? Looking ahead of the game, they've got Raz Mohammed, who will probably open the bowling. Suspect with Mohammed Imran, the vice-captain, this evening. Then we've got Shoaib Qureshi, who is a national team all-rounder. He'll probably get a few overs this evening. Abdul Ghaffar with his off-spin, having been pumped all around this national ground on Sunday in the 10-10 against the SKK side. Jordan O'Brien taking him for 37, I think it was, off 2 overs. So let's see whether Ghaffar has recovered from that absolute beating that he took in the 10-10. And who else are they likely to bowl this evening? Skamins is skippering. I don't think it means he's not keeping. Hopefully we're not going to see any of his off-spin this evening. Off-spin. Yes. Empire crumbling. Nah, not yet. Injuries, perhaps, yep. Missing a couple of bowlers, that's correct. Not quite crumbling yet. Could be a cracking finish. Gets even better. Oh, my word. Should be commentating here instead of me, quite clearly. I'm just looking where these other overs are going to come from. Yeah, we've got number 25, Mr. Kushagra Bhatnagar, who I believe bowled a few overs of loopy off, well, I was going to say off spin would be implying that it was spinning, but I think it was probably just looping. He's likely to get a couple. After that, interesting, not quite sure. The rest of the side this evening, number 9, we haven't seen Ravi Kumar, Yazir Ali, perhaps maybe an over or 2. Savage himself, I wonder. Oh dear. Surely not. There again, number 1 commentator in the world. Gazelle between the wickets. 5 off 4. Look at that, a strike rate of 125. Not quite up with my strike rate from the last weekend, but almost. So, very interesting position that we find ourselves in the innings break. Good start needed, says Vinny Sandu there on the chat. Yep, indeed. If you can't help but think that if they get a start, and then they'll fancy their chances of chasing with a weakened bowling lineup for the Lions this evening. A few Maximos perhaps for the start of the innings this evening. Could well set them on the trail to chase down what would be a winning score of 149 this evening. So the Greater Helsinki Marcos 149 target they'll be looking to chase. Be an interesting chase as well, I think. The Marcos a reasonable batting lineup. And it's a warm welcome back to all of our viewers all around the world this evening to the Kerava National Cricket Ground for the second innings of what promises to be an exciting chase on for the Greater Helsinki Markhors here playing the Empire Lions. And it looks, as I suspected, that we'll have number 8, Mr. Raz Muhammad, one of the development players in the national side currently at the moment, to open the innings for the Empire Lions fielding side. And the two opening batters are number 34, if my eyes didn't deceive me, which is the skipper, Shazad Shabir, and his partner who will be facing the first ball this evening. Is that Mr. Rehman out there? It is. Mohammed Zia Rehman, number 18. National team player himself. Who scored a nice 50 perhaps the other day, was it? As Raz Mohammed approaches the wicket. Ooh. He's really having a look at that one. Straight through to the keeper, who is no less than Mr. Vanraj Singh Padal. Have we ever seen him with the gloves on before? I certainly haven't. No idea. Apparently just pulled a rear muscle. A quad, that might be in physio terminology. Just getting the keeper's gloves and pads on, apparently. And that looks like Skamen's at slip next to him. And Rehman has an absolutely wild sweep at what is signalled by the umpire as a wide from Raz Mohammed in his right arm over. And no less than number 33 there on the slap backward gully position. Attacking position here for the Empire Lions fielders in the power play as Rehman tries to clear the inner and manages to clear the inner field. It looks like number 15, who is the vice captain of the Empire Lions side, Mohammed Imran, just feeling that one just outside of the inner circle at cover. Wouldn't say particularly athletically, but an easy two. Thought was a bit of a wild slash again, the similar shot that Rehman has played to the previous couple of balls this over. As Mohammed approaches. And that's a straight delivery, which Rehman pats back straight to the short extra cover fielder in the ring for a dot. No run scored. So 146 to win off 117 balls early on in the innings here as Raz Mohammed, number 8, approaches the wicket to continue. Ooh, Rehman again with somewhat of a nondescript, slightly late, scratchy attempt at a shot. Not quite sure what he was really attempting there. It seems a bit of a nothingness. Waft at thin air. Another dot. Mark Lovell apparently writing that Skamens is down as keeper. I'm not quite sure where. He's certainly not down as keeper here. So there's some shenanigans going on somewhere in the world as Singh Padal is down as keeper on the cards this evening here, as that is tapped back to number 5 Abdul Ghaffar at short extra, and there's no run. Skamen's under a bit of an injury crowd apparently. Yeah, well, he's caught up a bit of a quad twinge as Raz Mohammed gets that one in, approaching the block hole. Rehman manages to dig it out without falling over. Stumbles a little bit to the offside. And that'll be the end of the over. 3 runs taken off it. And as I predicted, number 15, Mohammed Imran, the vice captain, the umpire apparently advising us in the box here what he's expected to bowl, as well as not only the right arm over but right arm medium. Must have seen him before. The second umpire also making sure. He's probably worried about the fact that Armitage is in the scorer's box and commentating this evening. Has he heard that? He's heard it from both umpires, so we're definitely sure that that is number 15. He does have the right shirt on, and it is Mohammed Imran, vice captain of the Empire Lions this evening, to continue in this sun-basked Kerava National Cricket Ground to skipper Shaz Shabir, who just dabs that one to the mid-wicket fielder, who makes a nice clean take, and there's no single there. Showing what the marqueurs then should have done on numerous occasions earlier on this evening. So let's see how this innings continues. This game is just around the corner at short fine, an extra cover in short. Guides that one straight to Savage, who has a savage throw into the keeper. Padal then gloves, oof, ringing with pain as he grabs that one. An absolute rocket from gully position from the this evening ex-commentator. Left-hand bat of the Empire Lions team as Mani Imran approaches. And that's again another swish of thin air for his opposition skipper, Shahzad Shabir, who's yet to get off the mark. That's 3 balls he's faced. As was mentioned on the chat earlier, they've got to get away for a decent start, and unless they can pump a few off the last 3 balls of this over, then they're struggling at the moment. Imran normally bowls a good line, but there is, he just puts that one in the block. And 6 all the way. That's a maximum. Whoa, there we go. As soon as I mentioned that they look as though they're struggling, then Imran puts one right in the slot, and his opposition skipper obliges and puts it over the long on boundary for a maximum. Whoa. 6 from 4 balls as Imran continues. What's his going to be reply? Ooh, just short of Qureshi at to the right of Qureshi at mid-wicket, and they'll come through for an easy 2 at the end of the day. Return from the mid-wicket position, they easily make the 2 as Shabir then replays the shot that he thinks he should have played. Almost what he did play as well, actually. As Imran to continue. Nicely guided, but the call is no. Number 9 in the field, who's that? That's Ravi Kumar. They're taking a nice little take and throw to the keeper. There was no single on there. Again, I think, as I mentioned earlier, something that the marqueurs then struggled with in the first innings this evening. Kumar managed to take a nice clean take and stop the single. So that's a dot ball, leaving him at the end of 2 overs with 11 runs scored and a target run rate of 767. DL pass score at this moment in time is 11, so they are exactly bang on that score. Chasing 149 as Raz Mohammed to start the 3rd inning over of the innings. Rahman having a wild swipe at that one, and he manages to clear the inner circle, but it doesn't look as though it's going to run away. No, it doesn't indeed. Imran managing to chase that one down, and they're going to settle for the 2. Quite sure where the guys have got their 2 fielders out at the moment. They have a backwards square leg on the boundary, and well, the 1 fielder out by the looks of it, if I'm not mistaken, as Raz Mohammed continues. Ooh, and that's gone straight up in the air. There's going to be somebody underneath that one. Name on it, number 5. Mr. Abdul Ghaffar, taking that catch cleanly enough. Just managed to get a name on it. And that'll be the end of Mr. Muhammad Zia Rahman, number 18. Thank you to the umpire. We don't really need commentary from the centre stage. But we seem to be getting everything this evening. There's all sorts going on tonight. There's 0-0 to the wicket. That will be ex-SKK player, Mr. Azad Ijaz, left-handed batter. Perhaps, based on what we saw earlier this evening, might have given him an over or 2 ahead of Rahman. But anyway, the first innings is well and truly over. The second one has well and truly begun. That's the first wicket down for leaving the marqueurs at 13 for 1. If he manages to get in, Ijaz certainly hits a long ball. Just also manages to get out invariably quite quickly. So let's see what sort of an evening we're going to have. An exciting potential, and has been for a long while. Not quite managed to do anything with that potential then so far, one has to say. So let's see how he fares this evening. But he's going to be at the non-striker's end, and his skipper this evening, Shaz Shabir, will continue to face Raz Mohammed. Approaches the wicket. Just in at the ribs, manages to dig that one out with something of a back foot defensive shot, which straight to the fielder, and there'll be no run. Never looked like dropping it, yep, I have to agree with that. That's how it seemed. Ghaffar then taking that catch nice and cleanly, but to be fair, it didn't really go all that far either. One would hope that he would snaffle that one, and he did. So number 8, Raz Mohammed, to continue. To Shaz Shabir, who guides that one and guides again straight to the fielder. They're going to take a run. Ooh, dear. With a keeper of a lesser age, perhaps it would have made it to the behind the stumps. Then Ijaz was going to be in trouble. However, it looks like Van Raj was resting on his heels. Didn't make it anywhere near to the stumps. The throw passing over the keeper, and they make it through for the single as the tea arrives. Well done, Mr. League Subcommittee Chairman Sean Walsh, no less. Bringing himself into action this evening. The most important thing, bringing me a cup of tea. Just bear with me a second, folks. I'll just have a quick slurp and I'll turn the microphone off while I do that for you. As Mohammed continues to Ijaz. And he plays that one back just for another dot ball. Don't normally see too many dot balls from Ijaz. Not that I'm giving anything away here this evening. Let's see how his inning develops. Losing an early wicket, perhaps. One would think that he'd probably have a little bit more of a look, but one's thought that quite a lot of times, and that's not happened. So number 8, Raz Mohammed, to continue to Ijaz, left arm batter. Ooh, manages to, well, not really do anything except avoid it by the looks of it. Looks like the umpire's got his hand out to signal. Buys on here. Did we get any leg on it? Was it just buys straight through? Buys is the signal. 2 of them. 3 even. I stand corrected. All sorts of stuff going on here this evening. Padal not managing to take that one. Skamer's looking at a bit of a huff, thinking that he would have. And that's 3 buys onto the score, which will go against the keeper. In this particular case, nothing dodgy other than the gloves on this particular occasion. And that brings us to the end of the 3rd over. The Marcos happy to take a 3 off the last, which leaves them at 17 for 1 wicket down of 3 overs. With a run rate of 567, a run rate required of 776, so still easily manageable at this stage. Let's have a look at what Cricket HQ is telling us. Batting teams win probability of 48%. So pretty much been all evening, both innings between 48 and 51. So neither of the teams really getting away from the opposition. And Skamer's just marshalling his troops. Looks like his quad seems to be on the mend. Ice baths and hot showers and all sorts of other stuff, we're reliably informed. 15, Mohammed Imran to continue to Ijaz, left-handed batter. And there's no run there. All sorts of yes, no, maybes, shouts going on. Batsman stays in his ground. And that's a dot ball. So Mohammed Imran, right arm over to continue in this 4th over to the left-handed batsman Ijaz, who's faced 3 balls without scoring so far. He's probably going to have a swipe at some stage soon. There we go, and he gets given a freebie. Imran bowling a rank long hop, which gets everything that it's deserved, and runs away to the boundary for 4 runs. That takes Ijaz to 4 runs. That's 4 from 4. 3 dots and a boundary. Mohammed Imran, no doubt, a little bit disappointed with that one. That's not something that you would normally see from him. Short of the wicket width, easy beasy for the left-hander to just guide that one down to the boundary. Didn't really need to do much else with it. Past the savage fielder at backward square leg to the left-hander, who's now being moved by skipper Skamans to the deep. Is he changing the field, or is he just moving? He's just moving him. So Savage is being moved round to just backward of square. Back with a square leg boundary then to the left-hander as Imran to continue. Coming round the wicket now. Ooh, bit of a slash at that one. Just closed the face and the ball flashed through to the keeper, Padal, who manages to take a clean take. And that's a dot ball. No runs scored, 3.3. Overs bowled so far, 21 for 1. The score's on the door. Imran to continue round the wicket. Ooh, Ijaz having a bit of a agricultural heave at that one. Squirts out to short mid on the ring, who doesn't manage to cut off the single, and he come through for the 1. Double O on his back, Mr. Ijaz. I'm assuming that either means that the number has fallen off, or then he's not intending to be a secret agent anytime soon. Perhaps they just couldn't find him a number. Anyway, he's now at the non-strikers, and his skipper will face Mohammed Imran coming right arm over the wicket. Nicely guided away. Takes a single to the backward point fielder. Bringing Ijaz back on to strike for what will be the last, if legitimate, delivery of the 4th over. Tea in one hand, microphone in the other. It's all looking up here, fellas. Sun's shining. Evening's nice. As Imran continues. Oh, a little loopy. Cleverly disguised slow ball, or was it just his regular slow ball? Or was it just his regular ball? Anyway, whatever it was, the batsman missed it. So that's a dot. No runs added to the score, which leaves the Greater Helsinki Marcos at 23 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 4 overs. Target run rate just creeping towards 8 runs and over. So a DL par at this stage of the innings would have been 26, so they're just slightly falling behind. As we were reliably informed by elder brother to Finland's #1 scorer in the box here this evening, Mr. Shoaib Qureshi, number 19 on his back. Looks like a bit of a handmade 19. I don't know about you chaps, it doesn't look like the same sort of font as the other guys in the Empire shirts. I don't know whether his club chairman Joe Hadley has made that number himself and stuck it on, but anyway, 19, Qureshi to continue right arm over to opposition skipper Shabir, who punches that one to the mid-wicket fielder just on the ring, and they'll come through for a single, bringing Ijaz back onto strike. Let's see whether Qureshi changes his action, or is he going to continue over the wicket? Anybody wishes to send cakes into the commentators box, feel free to do so. Socially distanced cakes, that is, of course, so we can prove that they are duly disinfected before they come to the scorer's box. But anyway, 19, Qureshi to continue to Ijaz, left-handed batter. He guides that one. Ooh, Shabir left his ground, and that was Ghaffar just at short extra. Nice clean take. Just misses the stumps at the bowler's end, and there's no run added. Interesting stuff going on as Qureshi to continue to the left-handed Ijaz, who again opens the face, and really a nothing shot there. Through to the keeper. All sorts of swing going on here apparently, and let's have a look at the replay whether I agree with that one, or whether it was just the fact that he opened the face of the bat and missed a straight one. So let's see if we can catch the replay. Qureshi normally does get a bit of swing, and this evening it's sort of a hazy, sunny evening, not really cloud cover. Qureshi to continue over the wicket to Ijaz, left-handed batter, and he has another flash at this one. Swing and a miss. Flashing more than Darth Vader, one would say. Oh, there we get an Empire joke in for this evening. Jolly good. The Empire strikes back, no less. We've heard them all before, haven't we? I'll have to come up with a newbie. Anyway, Qureshi to continue. Is Ijaz, the left-handed batter, going to get something on this one? Let's see. Manages to, but it's a thick edge. It's past the fielder, though. Number 25 is going to chase it down. That's Kushagra Bhatnagar there, and it's in vain. 4 runs is the score. So a bit of an ugly hack at that one, but 4 runs in the book. who cares? The Marcos would probably say it's another 4. Takes them to 28 for 1. Qureshi gave him something to think about there as Ijaz has a flash at a ball and gets 4 runs. So what's the next delivery going to be? Oh, same result as the previous few balls, other than the boundary. Another wild flash, no connection, straight through the keeper, and that'll be another dot. No runs added to the score, and that'll bring up the 5th over, leaving the Greater Helsinki Marcos at 28 for 1. Now here's a general knowledge question for you folk this evening. Marcos, what does that mean? Let's see whether we've got anything on the chat. Is anybody is aware of what the Marcos actually stands for? The Greater Helsinki Marcos, their name in the Finnish Premier League. And we're not taking any comments whatsoever from the field as somebody's trying to whisper to me and give it all away. Looked like that was the league subcommittee chair then trying to pass on the answers to all of you folks out there. I'm not quite sure he's actually even allowed on the field, to be honest. He's not got a shirt on. He's not got an official's tag on this evening, but he's somewhere inside the boundary. Trying to show me a picture of the particular. Again, I won't give it away. Let's see. We'll leave you on tenterhooks still for this evening. So it's going to be no less than number 5, Abdul Ghaffar, to continue with his little offies. And, well, there we go. After his mauling this weekend at the from the bat of Mr. Jordan O'Brien, he'll be pleased to see a dot ball in the book. I don't think he saw too many of those last weekend. Anyway, first ball is a dot, no runs added to the score. Shabir, opposition captain, to face as he nurdles him just round the corner. Ooh, all sorts of shenanigans going on here as the Marcos skipper. They're not quite sure whether he's coming or going. Is he running? Is he not? Is he in the crease? Is he not? I think he is eventually, and the ball is returned to the bowler. Should have been just a regular pedestrian single on there, but there's all sorts of things going on here. Guys making basics look difficult at the moment. And it's Ghaffar to continue to the left-handed batter. Not too many left-handed batters in the Finnish Cricket League at the moment. One might say fortunately as a right-handed seamer myself. But anyway, let's see a little bit different whether Ijaz is going to take a liking to the gentle off-spin of Mr. Abdul Ghaffar, who will continue from the residential Burton end, I'm reliably informed by a certain person who was in the commentary box this weekend. Apparently quite a favourite of our friends on the ECN Network YouTube chat. So here we go, Ghaffar to Ijaz. What's he going to do? He's not going to do anything. He's just going to pat it back straight to the short extra cover fielder. Looks like the quads of Skamans just gathering the ball, passing it back to the bowler, and there's no run there. Ghaffar to continue. Ijaz has a look, has a bit of a swivel. Pulls him out as Mohammed Imran comes round to gather the ball. Yep, not much of an arm on him, unfortunately for the Empire Lions fielders, or fortunately for the Greater Helsinki Marcos batters, and they'll come through for an easy 2 at the end of the day. Ijaz with something of a pirouette, not really making much of a contact with the ball, but enough to get 2 runs, as Imran then backtracks to the deep mid-wicket boundary just on the rope. Ghaffar to continue with his right arm round the wicket action. Full of ball there, and he gets pumped away. But there is a long-on fielder, number 9. Mr. Ravi Kumar gathers that ball cleanly enough. Throws it back to the bowler, and they'll just take a single. The Marcos batters just managing to get the scoreboard ticking over nicely now. Has the wind picked up there? No, it hasn't. We've not got any wind here this evening, Mr. Bobby Singh, which makes a change for those of us that are aware of the Caravan National Ground normal conditions, a windy ground it is, as Shabir pumps that full toss straight to the fielder, number 8, Mr. Raz Mohammed, who gets the ball back into the bowler then relatively quickly, but the batters came through this time rather sharply, and they'll make that single easily enough. And that signals the end of the 6th over, the end of the power play, seeing the Greater Helsinki Marcos on 33 for the loss of 1 wicket. run rate 5.5 and required run rate 8.29. So perhaps still let's have a look at what the DLS par score would be as we have a change of bowling. Number 25, oh here we go, Mr. Kushagra Bhatnagar with his gentle, loopy, lobby. Kushagra is the umpire's call as the bowler's name, and we can see that we've got reliable numbers on shirts this evening, pleased to say, with our Cricket Finland's equipment partner Surridge providing the shirts for the Empire Lions squad, and that's number 25, Kushagra. To continue, let's see what he bowls this evening. Yep, similar to what he bowled on the other evening, and it's a wide first ball up. A loose delivery to start his evening spell. Kushagra just with a couple of steps to the wicket and trying to put a bit of spin on the ball. Here we go. Bowling to opposition skipper Shaz Shabir. Goes to the fielder number 32 who just gathers the ball, comes round to the through the covers in the ring. Yazir Ali, that is, fielded that one back into the keeper. It's just a single added to the score. Skamers marshals his troops again. What we got here? We've got Mani Imran coming round to the left-handed batter Ijaz to the deep mid-wicket boundary. And Yazir Ali to the square leg deep boundary. What else has he got? We've got a long on out. We've got a long off out, both of them on the ring. And we've got to the left-hander, we've got a sweeper at deep extra cover. Any more changes? Game is just adjusting again. The leg side field has a feel that Ijaz is going to have a swat at Kushagra, and he's probably not wrong, having seen the way that Ijaz normally bats, and this looks like some jolly fare for him to face this evening. Oh, there we go. What would I know? Has he made his ground? Oh, he's run himself out. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. My word. The wheel's coming off. There was never a single to be taken there. I don't know what the batsman was thinking. Wasn't thinking all that much, I suspect, as he runs himself out. There was clearly no call. There was no single there. Never in a million years. And unfortunately, the end of yet another innings for young Ijaz. 0-0. 0-0. Not James Bond, but something else. Yep. Kushagra fielding it and getting it back to the keeper. For what ended up being a relatively, well, simple run out, really. No need for it, to be honest. Thrown his wicket away. As we see the new batter come into the crease, number 15. That'll be Gulfam Nazir, who joins his skipper Shaz Shabir at the wicket. Can't help but feel a little bit of unnecessary pressure on themselves here. That nice, juicy little slow lobbing right arm over delivery is not really doing anything. Not moving in the air, not spinning off the wicket, and yet still managing to get himself out, the batter. So you have to give him that. How he's managed that, not quite sure. But anyway, let's see how the new batter, Mr. Gulfam Nazir, will go on facing Kushagra with his quite clearly secret weapon deliveries. Skamers has kept that up. Oh, there we go. And guess what? The batter's just missed another slow straight one. Interesting start to this season here in Finland. Obviously, like everywhere else, coming out of a global pandemic lockdown, we've not had any pre-season here at all, so a little bit rusty, some of these players, you can't help but feel. Kushagra then on the spot with, there we go, he's managed to pump that one, but no, straight to the quad Skamans at short mid. And there's no run scored. A dot. Bhatnagar then will be pleased with his efforts then so far. Just 2 runs come off his over up to this point. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It's coming down with snow on it, even though it's the summer. And the batter just hits it straight back over the bowler's head to the long on field, who gathers cleanly. Ravi Kumar then getting the ball back in quickly enough to avoid the second run being scored, so they'll come through for a single. Takes them on to 36 for the loss of 2 wickets as Bhatnagar will take his last ball of the over. Oh, a little bit of leg spinning off of there, was it perhaps? At least the action looked like it might have been that way. Not quite sure whether we'll see that from the replay, whether there was any spin on it, but it looked like that's what he tried to do. Anyway, pushed away for a single through the covers, and that brings the end to his Kushagra's first over. 4 runs taken off it. 7 overs gone in the second innings. 37 for 2 is the score. Target run rate 862. And currently 10 runs behind the DLS par score of 47, as I'm reliably informed by the Cricket HQ pad here in the commentators box. Still not had any cake deliveries, I see, fellas, despite the request for the same. Seems to work when the guys are at Lord's doing this, but obviously not for anybody here at the Kerava National Ground. Oh well. If you don't ask, you don't get, I suppose. But we'll continue to hope. Anybody out there listening that runs a bakery or the like. So it's number 5 to continue from the residential Burton end here at the Kerava National Ground for what will be the 8th over of the innings, the second one for Ghaffar, who will be bowling to Shaz Shabir, right arm over the wicket, and straight delivery stopped by the bowler in his follow through. Ooh, attempted a run out. Umpire's not interested. The keeper, Padal, sounds as though he got something in a twist, and there's something going on of a high-pitched, I'm not quite sure what it was. Sounded like a estranged hyena. But anyway, to no avail. Batsman makes his ground, and it's a dot ball, so no runs scored. Ghaffar to continue. I keep saying from the residential Burton end, but as we're playing on it from the one end, then you'd probably realise that that was the case all the way through the innings, so no need for me to say otherwise, other than giving our commentator colleague from the weekend. Oh, sharp work from the keeper. Oh, and he's given him. Look at that, Padal. Oh. One has to say, as he pumps the air in delight, the stand-in keeper, Manraj Padal. Never seen him with the gloves before, and probably never see him again, but he takes a nice clean take, whips the bails off, and the opposition skipper, Shaz Shabir, is gone. He's going to hear about that, no doubt, for the, well, I was going to say the rest of the season, probably for the rest of the decade, one would have thought. Likely to be the one and only stumping that Padal is going to take this decade. Well, who knows? And that brings number 1. That's a good number to have on your shirt, isn't it? Number 1. Mr. Where is he on this? Mr. Abdullah Atiq, the Marco's wicketkeeper, who hits a long ball as well. If he gets himself in, we could see some fireworks this evening with some of this slow stuff that's on offer here. So stump Padal, and who would have seen that? I don't think we've got that particular statistic in any of the Cricket Finland scorebox up to this date. So we've got all sorts of things going on in this season of cricket that's just started last week here in Finland. We're pleased to bring it to you with our partners, the ECN. Ghaffar continues to the new batter, Atiq. Ooh, Padal looks as though he's in business again here. Oh, batsman has a play and a miss. Is that what it was? Yeah, done him with the wrong gun. All sorts of interesting stuff, but no, he's pumped that one away, and that'll come down to easy enough to the long on fielder just for the single. Qureshi not taking any risk with the gather, passing that one back to the bowler. Looking at the batter here rather than the bowler, this commentator, so I wasn't sure what he was delivering there. But anyway, Ghaffar to continue. Let's see what he's got in his bag of tricks this evening. Perhaps he's had a bit of a rethink after the blitz that he suffered last weekend. And that's in the block hole. Yep. Just dug out by the batsman. It's another dot ball, no run scored. Nazir it is that's facing at the moment. Currently on 1 from 4 balls. As Ghaffar to continue. Bit of a twirl, straight to Savage at backward point. And they come through for easy enough single as lightning keeper Padal and grabs that one. And that's the end of the over. 8 overs gone, 39 for the loss of 3 wickets, the Marcos. The required run rate just creeping above 9. You've got to say that they're going to have to start picking it up here if they're going to get up with the required run rate. The par would be 58 at this moment in time, so they're almost 20 runs, 19 runs behind the asking rate, with 12 overs remaining and a projected score currently of 108 for the Marcos batsman. It'll be 25. Kushagra to continue with his loopy, flippy, twirly right arm over through the clouds towards the batter, who doesn't do anything with it really. Too much time to think about it. Just has a thought about trying to pump it over mid-wicket and ends up just passing it back to the bowler for no run. Continue, number 25, a little bit short. Ends up with the same treatment. The keeper shouting out, telling him to stop it. Strangely enough, I think he suspected that that's probably what he was supposed to do. He puts his foot down and gets a boot on it. So that's 2 dots. My. Batter's not really getting away here. And again, pace off, straight to the cover fielder, and there's no run there either. Look at this lightning sharp fielding by the Empire Lions here. Kushagra getting away with these deliveries. That's 3 consecutive dot balls. Pressure on the batters here. They know that they've got to put the ball away, find the gaps, and they're just not doing it at the moment. Yeah, too short time to swivel and hit that one. But a little bit lazy between the wickets, not really looking for the second when they should have been. And there's only 1. Certainly would have thought if Savage and Armitage had been the wicket, they would have taken 2 to that one. But as it is, there's only 1. These youngsters of the Greater Helsinki Marcos batting side just accepting the single. Continue. Oh, he's somehow he's somehow lobbed that one up there, and the batter's made that one into a Yorker, and he's just about scraped it out, and Kushagra Bhatnagar then gets another dot. It comes to his last delivery of the second over. He's only gone for 5 runs. My word. Economy rate here is quite amazing considering what he's bowling. He'll continue. Oh, a wild hack at that one, straight over the keeper's head. Savage gives chase, and he manages to make it before they come through for an all-run 5. No, they only make the 2. 2 on the arm to Savage there, down at slash through what would have been fly slip, and as Savage comes round from point to return the ball to the keeper. What we're going to see next, what this game is going to continue with. Wondering there for a minute that he was going to take his cap off. No, fortunately not. He's keeping the ball in hand. He's going to pass it to number 15, Mohammed Imran, by the looks of it. His vice captain this evening. They're having a chat. Maybe Skaman's trying to convince his vice captain that he should bring himself on, but no, he has sense and sends his skipper back to what looks like being cover position for the skipper, number 43. And Imran to continue. So he's bowled so far 2 overs for 14. A little bit expensive so far this evening, as that's a fumble in the field. And if they're going to get back to the keeper's end, a direct hit, and he would have been in trouble. Dilly-dallying about there, wondering whether we're going to go for the run or not. Atik clearly ball watching, as his partner then calls him through. Nazir then managed to scrape the single with a misfield. That's 4 runs off 10 deliveries for him, and his partner Atik, who comes on strike now, having faced 4 balls for 3 runs. Going to have to go for more than that as Imran then approaches the wicket right arm over. And it's coming straight towards us. Is there anybody out here? No, there's not, but it's not going to clear the boundary rope, and the fielder just about stops it from hitting the rope. Number 9, Ravi Kumar, coming round from the long off position. And they run, 2, only 2. I was wondering. It's still the same batter facing, so I think it was only 2. Yep, I'm trying to be bamboozled by my colleagues here in the scorer's box. And it was Atik that hit that, and it's still him facing. They certainly didn't take 4, so it's 2 as Imran continues. And again, a similar shot just gets that over Skaman's at cover. Ali coming round, and they're going to come back for a leisurely 2 again. Not really looking like they're very interested in running quick 3s here, which is what they should be doing. Certainly one for the Marco skipper to be picking up and getting these guys into shape. Perhaps the young national team player Zia Rehman should be setting these guys with a bit of a 5 kilometre challenge like the national boys have been doing through the winter. Quite clearly these guys are just simply not taking anything that would even resemble a quick single. Dear oh dear. Overs remaining 10.3 as Imran comes into Atik. He's got more of a bat on that one, and that's cleared the fence. Fortunately, it looks like it's missed. Or has it missed? Looks like a bit of a fence as it goes over the stop nets here at the long on fielder, connected with something outside the boundary by the looks of it, but it's 6 runs scored in any case. Fielder's not really looking like interested in going to collect the ball. We've had that one smashed over the long on boundary into the neighbour's garden here at the Caravan National Ground, and apparently the neighbour's home as well, but they haven't found that ball yet. The ECN network resident assistant this evening showing his biceps, throwing in the spare ball. Didn't quite make the inner circle even, but I don't know whether we caught that one on camera. Probably didn't. So there's a bit of a break in play here as the spare ball is passed back to the umpires. It doesn't look as though the fielders have found it. Most of the time, the fielders are not particularly good at finding balls out here at the Caravan National Ground, as we saw from the SKK game then the other day. And then, strangely enough, young 6-7-year-old son of Skamans, I do believe, into the long grass, finding the ball without that much trouble after 8 adults couldn't find it during the game. But what do we know? Anyway, it's white, it's round, and it's in the long green grass, but they can't find it. So we shall resume with the spare ball. Fortunately, a few other spare balls dotting around this evening, as Atik has clubbed that one for a maximum, and Mohammed Imran continues to him. Just get that a better length, not quite in the arc, not quite a Yorker either, but just chipping that one out to short mid, and there's no run. This will be the last ball of the 10th, bringing us to the halfway stage after this delivery of the innings. And again, not quite finding the block hole, but also not quite in the arc either, so he just comes through for the single. No interest again, apparently, to even think about a second. It's either 6 or a single to Atik at the moment, it seems, and that's pretty much the way he bats. And they'll bring up the end of the over, which is the 10th, as I mentioned, so we're halfway through. 94 required off 60 balls. That's a target run rate of 9.5, with a DLS par at this particular stage of the innings standing at 69. So they are currently showing us 15 short of what would be the par score. Required run rate 9.5, and run rate so far in the innings 5.4 for the Marcos batsman. And what we're going to see to continue, yes, it looks like it is number 25. Kushagra will continue. Why not, one would say. 2 overs for 7 runs to take his third. Is Atik going to get hold of him here, or is he going to get away with a few more of those lollipops? Yep, here we go. Down to mid-on, and oh, here's something for the books. Atik's come back for a 2. Not seen before so far this season. Anyway, comes out to long on, and they take a 2. That'll take Atik to 16 off the 10 balls that he's faced. And that's Kushagna Bhatnagar to continue from the Burton end. Second delivery of this over. And patted through as the sweeper comes round. Are they going to come? Not a slight slip. Looks like a convenient slip to me as well. He does not really look like he's too keen on coming back for the second, and slips at the non-striker's end. Does Mr. Atik, number 1 on his shirt. And they'll just be satisfied with a single, which brings his partner, number 15, Gulfam Nazir, to face Kushagra. Oops. Bit of uncertainty as the umpire signals a dead ball. Go back to his mark. Short run up, and as he approaches the wicket, oops, takes another step back and then tries again. Here we go, third time lucky. Oh, a little bit of a wristy flipper, and hits it straight to number 40 on the ring, Mr. Zirak Ijaz, just for the single. So it brings Atik back onto the strike. Bhatnagar stealing a few here if he manages to get away without giving too many away. This is 4th ball of his 3rd over. Nope, Atik's not quite sure what to do with it. And he just guides one to the flying Savage at backward point, who returns it to the keeper, vice-captain. Sorry, I beg your pardon, not vice-captain this evening. The wicket-keeper this evening, scorer of 50 in the first innings. Kushagra to continue, and the batsman gets hold of that one, but again, he's hit it straight to the long-on fielder, who, I was just about to say, cuts off the second, but unfortunately fumbles, and it passes through his grasp and over the boundary for 4 runs. A little bit fortunate for the Marcos batters, but I think they'll take boundaries any way they can get them at the moment. We got on the chat at the moment, Ben Carbonaro, laying here in bed and I should be asleep, but wanted to get my cricket fix. Quite right, sir, as well. You don't want to miss the end of this innings. Keep yourself awake for a short while still as Kushagra Bhatnagar comes in with his little right arm over lollipops, and they'll come through for a single as Ravi Kumar then gathers the ball and returns it to the bowler. And that looks like that will be the end of the 11th. Partnership thus far 27 between these two batters. That's 85 runs to win off 54 balls. And what we're going to see here, bowling change. Or will we see? No, it looks like we're going to have Ghaffar. So it'll be Abdul Ghaffar to continue, which will be his 3rd over. Better figures this evening than over the weekend. He'll be pleased that Jordan O'Brien's not playing tonight. He's 2 overs, 1 for 7 so far. And that's just over the mid-wicket fielder there from on the full toss. And Atik sends his partner then back. No interest in a second. Ghaffar, for some strange reason, not keeping the ball, and batter's not left the crease. A wild throw at the stumps. Fortunately for the Empire Lions, the ball just goes straight to his fielder and skipper, Skamans, who manages to avoid the second run being taken. As Atik faces the next delivery from Ghaffar, right arm over the wicket. Nurdles it round the corner. Will he come back for 2? Surely to Padal. There's tutor on the arm. Yep. Atik comes back for the second. Returns it to what looks like Savage, and is that Kushagra Bhatnagar? Yep, I think it is. The fielder there that gathers the ball. The return from the keeper, they'll take 2. Bringing Atik to 20 thus far off 13 balls at a strike rate of just shy of 154. So he's certainly looking to push this one along. Quicker ball. Oh, deceived the batter. Padal quite adamant that there was something on that one. Umpire not interested. Looks away. His Atik's partner at the wicket, Nazir, coming down to tell him something. Not quite sure what. Whether asking him to walk, I don't know. But anyway, Ghaffar to continue. A little bit short, and he's just put it to the left of Skamans at cover. The sweeper will come round, and that's a good throw back into the keeper. Number 32 is Yazir Ali with the arm at deep extra, just on the boundary, and they'll keep that one to a single. good result there for the Empire fielders. As Ghaffar is going to continue with his 5th ball of his 3rd over. To Nazir. Drills that one back, and again, that's depending on how the fielders come round. Are they going to take a single? Yep, Atik's not even looking. Not interested in turning round for a second. Not a sniff. Penal then barking to his fielders to keep on their toes here as Ghaffar comes for his final delivery of his 3rd over, and it's Atik to face. Ooh, yeah, nice straight ball full. Just gets the toe of the bat straight back to the bowl, and that'll be a dot ball. No runs added to the score. 69 for the fall of the loss of 3 wickets. Just falling down again, the batting team's probability 32% of a win here. 32 partnership for these 2 batters. They need 80 runs, however, off 48 deliveries. That's a nice and easy target run rate of exactly 10 runs and over. Currently they're going at 575. A par score of 82. And yes, you've seen it here first this evening. Mr. Bhatnagar will bowl out his full set of 4 with his lobby loopy right arm over. Right arm over. Let's just leave it at that, should we? 3 overs so far, gone for 17. Can't help think that the skipper Skamans will be pleased with that so far. Let's see if his figures remain something similar. Oh, and he's hit it. Ooh, Skamans perhaps in 2 minds. National team skipper Nathan Collins would have said that Skamans should have made a dive for that one. Whether there's something going on with his quads or not. Skamans backing out of taking that one. A sharp chance offered. However, just bounces in front of him and they come through for the single as Bhatnagar continues to Atik. Lobs that one up there again. Comes down with moisture, snow and all sorts of on it. And they'll just come through for an easy single. Not quite sure. There's no pace on the ball whatsoever. Just guiding it down to Savage, who returns it to the keeper. And that'll be a single. Again, that's exactly what the doctor's ordered for Skamans. If Bhatnagar is only going for singles, then you know they're in the pound seats. That's what we're going to see here. He's got a bit more of a bat on that one. Diving fielder just misses the ball as it goes out to Qureshi at long on, and they'll just come through for another single. They'll be quite happy with Bhatnagar going at runner ball. His economy rate so far 571, so they've not even managed that. Trying to squeeze in 4 cheeky overs in the middle of the innings here and covering up for perhaps a little bit of bowler shortage. And he's got hold of that one, but it doesn't look as though he's got enough on it. Is the fielder going to come round? He certainly does, and he takes a catch. Nice clean catch. So Bhatnagar's got a wicket as well in addition to everything else this evening. Well, need we say more? Atik's gone, and that's one for Koshagra Bhatnagar in the book. My. It's all happening. Who would have thought? Look at that, lollipops. I was going to say something gets wickets, but anyway, it's lollipops get wickets. We'll just agree on that. Caught by number 9, I think, Ravi Kumar. If I'm not mistaken, let's have a look at the replay. Whether the wonderful cameraman Beneat Panda on the camera this evening, is he going to get that one? Let's have a look. Fielder's name not supplied by the umpire yet, but Ravi Kumar, I think, was the catcher. That was my opinion, anyway. And as he had the number 9 on his back, I think we've got a fair bet that the Empire chaps have got the right shirts on this evening. I think being given a stern talking to before the game this evening by the umpires, about making sure that they know what their names are and know what numbers are on the shirts. New batter number 44, Naveed Shahid, the vice captain of the Marcors and the left arm. Seema, who's a right-hand bat, so he's a right-hand batter and a left arm bowler, as Bhatnagar comes in for the last 2 balls of his delivery. Let's see what his vice captain of the opposition will do, and he pumps that one to mid-wicket, and he misses a shy at the stumps. By the looks of the Empire fielders, there was certainly a run out on there with a direct hit, but anyway, they missed the stumps, and Shahid makes it home. So Bhatnagar with the final delivery of his 4th over, figures of 1 for 21 so far, as again just push the batter, push that one out there, just short of Skamans again on the cover. inner ring single to the total, and that will bring us to the end of Batnagar's spell. 4 overs, 1 for 22. I think if anybody had offered Skame as that before the start of the game, he'd have certainly taken it. Kushagra pleased with his performance this evening, happy to have delivered for his skipper tonight, making up for his missing national team colleagues Tambe and Cher, not available this evening. So those two national team seamers being replaced by Kushagra and his right arm lollipop. So it's going to be Gaffar to continue, take his last over this evening. 3 overs, 1 for 12 thus far, as that one is chipped out to the short cover fielder for a single. Bringing Mr. Nazir onto strike, who's currently on 15 from 18 deliveries, as Gaffar comes in to bowl to him. And he's got enough wood on that, not much, but just enough to take it. Bounces just on the inner ring, and finally we're seeing some intent from some of the Marcos batsmen as Vice Captain Shahid comes back quickly for the 2. Good cricket there from number 44, making sure that his partner, who's previously not done a lot of running with Mr. Atik at the wicket, then Nazir comes back for the second as Shahid was coming to the danger end, and that's going to see Gaffar then to continue to Nazir again with his 3rd delivery of this over. Approaches him down the wicket, and it's heaved out to the cow corner boundary, and they're going to come back for an easy single on the arm. An easy second run on the arm, as Gaffar gathers at the bowler's end. They make an easy 2, taking their score on to 79 for the loss of 4 wickets at the moment, as the Gaffar approaches, and a little bit short of a length, and it gets paddled away just round the corner. With the fielder's going to make that. Yeah, he does. And they're going to be another 2. Another 2 to the score, to number 15 Gulfam Nazir. Just backward a square, collected short of the boundary fence, so they've come through for the 2. Required runs are now 68 from 38, so still in this. These 2 can put a partnership together, as Gaffar comes in for his 5th ball of this over. A heave, and has he got enough on that one? Is he going to clear the fielder? He's not. Qureshi, that is, on the boundary, number 19, with the handmade numbers on his shirt, takes that catch nicely enough, just shy of the boundary, a foot or so inside the boundary. So there's no maximums on offer then in this over. That's a wicket to Gaffar, whose figures so far 2 for 19 or 3.51 delivery left for Gaffar still this evening. Number 60, the new batsman in Adnan Ahmad. Yes, we did, Mr. Umpire. Thank you very much. Fielder's name, Mr. Qureshi. Number 19, bowler Gaffar. Caught at the long on boundary. Nice little catch. Anyway, to continue, Gaffar, interrupted by the umpire there, as we were on the walkie-talkie, comes to deliver his final delivery of his final over this evening, and that is patted back. Padal coming around like a retired gazelle, stops the single, however, as the Marcos batsman not really showing much intent again to try and sneak a cheeky single in there off Gaffar's last delivery of his final over. So he finished with figures of 4 overs, 2 for 19. Be a little bit more pleased with himself than over the weekend. And where does that leave us? That's 14 overs that have been delivered so far. 81 runs for the loss of 5 wickets thus far. And 579 is the current run rate, with a run rate now just creeping above 1133. So we're going to have to see some fireworks here from the Marcos batters if they're going to have any chance of making this total this evening. And Mr. Handmade, number 19, Qureshi, is going to be continuing from the Burton end. And it'll be left arm seamer Shahid who will face as Qureshi comes in for his second over. First one over went for 5s. Let's see what he can do here. Ooh, tries to put that into the block hole. There's a full toss, and the batter just tickling around the corner. A bit of a fumble at backward square, and they'll come through for an easy 2. Should have been limited to a single with a clean take. However, fumble in the outfield, and they'll come through for 2. 2 a ball approximately is what they're going to need as well, so that's a good start for the Marcos batter to this over. Qureshi comes in again. Oh, tries to guide that one down and does nothing with it really. Just a half-hearted attempt at a dab. I guess trying to get it past Savage on the inner ring just backward of point, and instead just managing to have a swish mid-air and straight through to the keeper, Padal, who's Qureshi then coming back in to bowl his third delivery of this over. Almost in the block hole. Batter manages to squeeze it out past the outstretched left hand of the bowler and backed up by Padal. Coming round from the bowler's end stumps, and there'll be just a single in that one. Skamen's quads and all running around, passing the ball back to his bowler, Qureshi, to bowl his 4th delivery of this over to Ahmad, who taps that one straight back to him, and that'll just be a dot ball, no run scored. I have to say that the Marcos batters are going to have to start looking for this shortly. The dot balls is not going to be enough, obviously, for them to chase this score down at 149 to win this evening. As Qureshi continues. Yep, good length ball. Just manages to squirt that one out to mid-wicket. Skipper Skamans, the opposition skipper Skamans, puts it back in over the stumps at the bowler's end. Backed up well by Ijaz, I think that was, number 40 at the bowler's end. And there's no run. Squirts one out to Savage, who comes round. Athletic from the world's #1 commentator there at backward point, and they'll just take a single. No 2s to Savage, it looks, this evening. And that brings up the end of the over. So Qureshi has gone for another 5 runs in the over, taking him to 10 runs off his 2. I wonder whether Skamans will hold him back for his 3rd and 4th over at the death. Looks like Mohamed Imran coming back on to bowl his 4th and final over this evening. 26 runs off his first 3. So he's probably been more expensive than his co-bowlers this evening. Let's see what he manages to deliver up for his 4th and final over. And it'll be Shahid, the opposition vice-captain, to face. In need of a bit of tap here, one, I have to say. Above 12.5 now, the required run rate. Ooh, what's that? That looks like it's going to be a wide, and how many? 2 extras by the looks of it. Umpire's going to give us the signal, I think. Yep, there we go. 3 wides. The Marcos batters will be pleased with that. That's a free 3 runs for them there. On 2 extras as Mohamed Imran comes in to bowl. Looks like another one. Looks like his radar's been dislodged. Mani's bowled 2 consecutive wides, which have gone for now 4 runs, 4 extras. So we've still not had a legitimate delivery yet this over. The 16th over of the innings. Let's see what he can do with this one as he approaches the wicket. Better ball. Straight and full. Batsman just manages to squirt that one out to a short square leg. It looks like, again, Ijaz, I think, is collected that, passes it to his skipper. He'll come through for the single, bringing Ahmad on to strike as Mohamed Imran comes in to bowl. That's a better line, just again the same result as on the previous delivery. Oh, nice direct hit from the fielder. Number 19, Handmade, Qureshi, and yeah, I think we'd had a 8-camera production here this evening. We'll be looking for the video replay on that one. A direct hit, always the fielders in with interest in those situations, as we so often see from the slow-mo replay. But we'd need to get a little bit more equipment in here to be able to do that for you. But anyway, who knows? Sky's the limit, as they say here, for the development of cricket this part of the world. The further north you get, the better it gets, it seems. So anyway, here we go. Imran continue. And guided around the corner. It looks like it's going to be just a single there to the man who's come in nicely. Oh, a bit of a uncertainty going on here. They turn back round, don't try and take the 2. Decent enough arm from number 25, I think it looks like, down there. Kushagra, the hero bowler of the evening so far from the Empire Lions innings, as it's Mohammed Imran to continue for his 4th ball of this over. Again in the block hole. Somewhat. Oh, and there's again. Oh, the batsman slipped, and Padal's got all the time in the world to just clip the bails off. The zing bails, zing. Padal takes another victim. Oh, what hands, what gloves. What else does this man have? A slip at the wicket, unfortunately, for the Marcos batter, and, well, there was no coming back from that. So it's a run out. All sorts of trouble going on here. The wheels literally falling off the wagon for the Marcos batters as the required run rate creeps up towards 13, and we'll see number 7, Muhammad Kashif, come to the wicket to replace his colleague Adnan Ahmad, who was just run out off that previous ball. So it's all happening here at the Kerava National Ground this evening. Looking like more and more that the Empire Lions are going to come away with this one. Target run rate now almost at 13. DLS pass score 114, and the current score is 93 for 6. So I reckon, looking at my scorer assistant here, that'd be what, 21 runs shy, is that? It is, I'm getting the nod, so yep. Mathematics still comfortable enough. And Skamans has snaffled one. Oh my word, that's a golden blob. The quad's quite miraculously recovered. No doubt the careful attention here from national team S&C assistant coach Mr. Henry Sewell, then sorting out those quads for Skamans from an amazing recovery from Sunday, as Kashif punches one straight back at him, and the swallow dive from the Empire Lions skipper, landing in the lush grass, clinging onto the ball, and that sees Kashif go for a first ball duck, a golden. My word, that's 2 from 2. Whack, whack, yep, give us the whack, whack sound. Need a bit more equipment by the sounds of it. We've got to have another camera, we've got to have a slow-mo video replay, we've got to have a quack, quack duck for the batters, adding it to the shopping list as we consider the continued broadcasting of Finnish cricket to the masses of the world out there. So who have we got here? In the midst of all that, I'm not quite sure who it is facing now. Anyway, it'll be Imran that continue. Sohail Amin, I'm reliably informed, number 28. And are they going to come back for the second? They are indeed. There's a slip in the field from Mr. Handmaid, number 19. Qureshi, who looks like he's slipped. Check his footwear, whether he's got any rubber studs on there or not. But perhaps he hasn't. Playing in smooth runners, as some guys intend to do here. And strangely enough, they see them slipping around in the grass. Anyway. All sorts going on over there. That brings us to the end of Imran's spell. 4 overs, 1 for 35. His figures for this evening, going for an economy of 875. Pleased with the fact that 2 wickets fell in that over. And it's going to be Mr. Handmaid 19, Qureshi himself, to continue for his, what will be his 3rd over this evening. Up there in the block hole. Manages to squeeze it past Savage, who turns and decides, no, I'm not going to sprint after that one. There's a couple of bounces and into the boundary fence for 4 runs. Nice little shot there. Wonder whether that will bring in a change to the field as Skamans looks in the direction of Savage. Nope, turns around. He's decided he's not going to put somebody down there at deep 3rd man. We've got a sweeper out on the offside. We've got, what's he doing now? He's bringing up his, there we go, no, he's changed his mind. Savage is going to go out to the 3rd man boundary, and he's going to bring up his backward deep square leg fielder. Better field, one has to say, I think. From Skamans, pushes out Imran to the point position. Oh, and almost puts it down his throat, just past Imran, and then is it going to go away for a boundary? It is indeed. That's 2 consecutive 4s. Nice shot there from the batter, Mr. Shahid. So the left-arm seamer and right-arm batter looks as though he's in business this evening. First batsman of the Marcos innings to show any intent to run between the wickets. And now 2 consecutive boundaries to add to that. So that's a good thing to see this evening. Nice bit of cricket there. Improves the run rate to 12.5, so it's brought it back down to below 13. Let's see what he's going to do with the next delivery from Qureshi, who's coming in to bowl to him now. Slightly slower ball. He gets a bit of bat on that one, and it's over the mid-wicket fielder. Yep, it's going to run away. Is he going? Nope, that's the 3rd consecutive 4. My word. Lovely batting here from Naveed Shahid. 3rd consecutive boundary. The old wise keeper Padal coming to have a word with his young national team colleague bowler. He's just been pumped for 12 runs off the first 3 balls of this over. Pressure back on here. Could we see an interesting finish after all? Qureshi's figures being pumped, and Shahid going on to 20 runs off 11 balls. That's a strike rate of just shy of 200, 182. Qureshi approaching the wicket. He's put that around the corner. That's a lovely little scoop. And that's 4 boundaries on the run. My word, he's playing with the fielders at the moment, it looks. 4 consecutive 4s. This looks like a repeat performance from O'Brien at the weekend. What do you say, fellas? On 111, we're going to give him the Nelson's curse. We're all on one leg here in the commentator's box, which means, as I'm on the wrong leg, that I'm looking at the wooden wall right in front of me. So I'm going to have to switch to my left leg so I can actually commentate on the action for you this evening. Right-handed Armitage with a left-handed microphone and standing on his left leg. So here we go. It's Qureshi to continue. What's going to happen here? Oh, and he's pumped him for his 5th boundary as Savage then dives in despair as the ball just bounces over the boundary fence. That's 20 runs off the first 5 balls of this over. My word. 20 scored, bringing the Marcos right back into this game here. Fabulous batting from Shahid. National team coach apparently looking at Shahid over the weekend at this left-handed seamer, as we have one of the players attempting still looking for the ball out in the long grass. Hopefully the umpires will get their hands on a spare. I don't think there's much chance. I think they're looking in the wrong place as well by the looks of it. I don't think the ball actually went that far. Further to the left, I believe, to where the umpire fielders are currently in the long grass, but I don't think they've got much chance of finding it over there. One bounce straight over the ditch at deep 3rd man. So a little bit break in procedures here as we get a spare ball out to the Empire Lions bowlers, and Skamans in discussion with his bowler, wondering what he might do, having been pumped for 5 boundaries, 5 fours in this over, all hit by Shahid, turning this game on its head, one has to say. Let's have a look at what the pass score would be. Projected score 136, so they're still just a bit behind, but this partnership has rapid time raced to 22, leaving them with a required number of runs of 34 off the last 19 balls. I don't feel that this is a critical delivery here of this over, if they can manage to get this ball away. And it's literally game on. Qureshi approaching for his last delivery of his 3rd over. What's going to happen to this one? He's trying to guide that one around the corner. Keeper Badal up to the task, and that is a welcome dot for Qureshi at least, into the Empire Lions fielding side. As Qureshi's figures are mullered to 3 overs for 30, with some wonderful boundary hitting from number 44, Naveed Shahid, vice-captain of the Greater Helsinki Mark Horse team. Seeing some wonderful hitting on display this evening. So, we have 3 overs remaining, and opening bowler Raz Mohammed looks like he's going to bowl 2 of those. He's bowled 2 overs, 1 wicket for 6 runs thus far, so can't help but thinking that Skaman's strategy this evening is going to be to get the last 2 out of him, and whether or not he's going to go with Qureshi for the 19th, let's see. But anyway, Raz Mohammed now to take the 18th over of this innings. With the batting side's win probability creeping up to 18%, still not up there yet. They're going to have some big hits off this over. Where's that gone to? It's straight to the fielder, and that's out, pouched at mid-wicket by Zirak Ijaz, I believe. As Raz Ahmed put a bit more pace on the ball, just short of a length, keeping the batter tight. Zirak Ijaz then pouching that one. That's a 2nd wicket of the evening to Raz Mohammed. So the scales perhaps turning back in the direction of Empire with a wicket there, as see wide the next ball from Raz Mohammed. Riz Ali, the new batsman, joining his partner, the blaster Shahid. Scorer of 20 runs off the previous over from Qureshi, and as Raz Mohammed comes to face, comes to bowl to him, and that's a dot, welcome dot for the Empire Lions bowler, having been mullered in the previous over. So he made up for the previous delivery wide, and nothing added to the score, which will leave the Mark Horse still on 116 for 8 as Raz Mohammed approaches. Inside edge onto the pad. New batter then dashing back Riz Ali to the non-striker's end, but smartly enough Raz Mohammed keeping hold of the ball, not taking any chances of having a shy, and giving away perhaps a single at this stage of the innings. Critical passage of play here as he comes in for his 4th ball of this 18th over. Good lengths, not really giving much width. And the new bat's going to come back, and is it going to be enough time? Oh, Padal doesn't manage to gather. The throw is a bit of a dodgy one. Hand of apology from number 9, Ravi Kumar, to the keeper there. Almost yoked the keeper and missed the chance of a run out. And they come back for 2. So Shahid on 30 currently from 17 balls, as Raz Mohammed to continue the last 2 balls of his 3rd over. Ooh, and there's pad on that and not much else. Padal comes round to gather, and Shahid doesn't want to go for a run. Raz Mohammed bowling well here, putting it up there around the block hole, not really giving the batsman neither neither room to free his arms nor anything in the arc for him to pump over the boundary. So here we go. Last ball of the 18th. Mohammed to deliver it right home over the wicket. Same end result. Nope, he manages to scrape it past the bowler. They keep the strike at least. It's the least that they'd be looking for. Out to number 9, who comes in a long off boundary to field, and that'll be a single. And the end of Mohammed's third over, leaving him with figures of 2 for 10 currently. So the equation is simple, requiring 30 runs off the last 2 overs. The Marcos batsmen, have they got it in them? Well, we've seen Naveed Shahid, number 44, the vice-captain of the Marcos, then slap Qureshi for 20 off the previous over, and skipper Skamins is going to keep him on. I guess he's not confident that he's got anything else in his sleeve, backup bowlers, so what's Qureshi going to do with this over? Has that impacted on him, or does he have it in him to try and keep this tight? 19th over, first ball, slapped away, but Savage is up to the task, manages to gather the ball. Wonderful, almost as good as his commentating, I have to say. It's just a single, not what the Marcos batters will be looking for. So Shahid off the strike brings his new partner Riz Ali to face his first ball. So he's either going to try and pump this one or then just get down to the other end. Let's see. Qureshi approaching. And he's pumped it, but how far has he pumped it? The fielder's coming round and he's dropped it. Oh my word, number 8. Raz Mohammed fumbles and duffs that one. There's a mess of it right into his arm. Should have been a simple regulation catch, but no. Puts it down. Seen some sloppy catching all week, really. Pre-season quite clearly missing on the catching as well. So Qureshi approaches Shahid face, and he's slashed that one over the keeper's head. Is that going to fall? Looks like the fielder might catch it. Yeah, he is. Kushagra manages to chase it down, and there's just 2. Keeping number 44 on strike. So if he wasn't going to get a boundary, then at least he's going to get down on the strike. So Shahid on 34 from 21. 26 needed off 9 balls. You have to look for a boundary here. The Marcos batter, 4 or 6. That's got to say that's the minimum that they're going to need as Qureshi approaches for what will be the 4th ball of this 19th. Oh, and he's got hold of that. Has he got enough on it? Let's see where that's going to go. He certainly has. It's a maximum 6 runs over the meet-with-it boundary. Whoa! Commentators curse on the bowlers here. Just what the doctors ordered for the Marcos. That's a 6, taking Shahid to 40. Fantastic runs of 22. Wow. 18.4 gone. Run rate required 15 exactly. Let's see what he's going to do with this one. There's 2 balls left of Qureshi's overs. His figures have been ruined this evening. 40's gone off him so far. Guided round the corner. They're going to come back for 2, surely. He's going to push this. Yep, the fielder's not going to cut that one off. He's just going to come for the 2. There's a reasonable arm out there. Padal gathers, and that's 2 runs to the score for Shahid to take him on to 42. Giving themselves a bit of a chance here off the last 7 balls. Let's see what Qureshi's going to do. Can he manage to manufacture a boundary out of this ball and then really put the pressure on the Empire bowlers for the last over? Qureshi approaches. Slow ball. Nice delivery. In despair, the batter there doesn't quite manage to get a bat on it. Steps slightly away to leg, and Qureshi just pushed the slow ball out. Didn't make any contact, straight through to the keeper. So Qureshi's figure is going to be end up for this evening. 4 overs for 42. The last over of the evening. 18 needed off it. Are we going to see a tight finish? Are we going to see a tight finish? Here we go. That's the call. 18 needed. Riz Ali facing, and he's currently on 1 off 1. Faced 1 ball, scored 1 run. Raz Mohammed 3 overs so far this inning, 2 for 10 as he approaches for his last over of the evening. Oh, and it's just hits a pad. Going to come through for the leg by. Minimum that they need is to get Shahid on strike, you have to say. 1 scored. Looks like bad on that even. Looks quite clearly looked like pad to me, but anyway, we're given the signal that it was a little bit of a inside edge on it. So that brings Shahid onto the strike. Here we go. The 17 off 5 balls needed. He's going to have to pump this one for a boundary. Let's see where Raz Mohammed is going to bowl it. Oh, certainly went for it. Are they going to come through? Yeah, they are. Are they going to try and take 2 on the arm? Surely they must. They'll come back. A bit of a fumble from the keeper. To bye surely is going to be the signal. We're waiting for the signal. We're getting the signal from the square leg umpire. We'll take the signal from the square leg umpire as his partner seems to be more engrossed in the batter's position at the table as Mohammed comes into bowl. Oh, where's that gone? He's pumped that one out. Takes a bit of the sand at the edge of the inner circle. Just having been reseeded a couple of weeks back. Puff of sand as it comes up there. And they'll take 2. 3 balls remaining. And there's 13 runs required. We're going to see a close finish here. Boundary off this next ball and then make it very interesting. Let's see, is Raz Mohammed going to oblige? And is Shahid going to pump him for a 6 to bring up his 50? Oh, he certainly tried for it. Where's that gone? Is he got enough on it? Not quite made it for a 6, but no, it's a 4. Next best thing. Wow. Super shot again. That takes him on a 48 from 27. Excellent batting here this evening from the Marcos vice-captain Naveed Shahid, number 44. 9 runs off 2. Whoa, interesting game. Are we going to see a close finish or are we not going to see a close finish? Shahid having a bit of a breather as the skipper marshals his troops. Raz Mohammed shining the ball on his trousers, coming in for the 5th of the final over to Shahid. What's he going to do with this one? Oh, it's in the block hole. A lovely delivery, I have to say. I have to say that's exactly where he needs to put it. And he had the skill and the nerves to actually deliver. Nice delivery there. From his perspective, not for the Marcos perspective, obviously. No, last delivery. And he's got a lot of bat on that one. It looks as though it's gone up, though. The fielder's coming around. Skaman's not quite making it, but there's 3 of them converged on the ball there. One of them finally manages to remember to throw the ball in. And that's a 50 as well for Shahid. An excellent, excellent innings at the end of this game. Hats off to the vice-captain Naveed Shahid in what ended up ultimately as a losing cause. Finishing on 142, just 7 runs shy of the victory target. Excellent attempt by the vice-captain of the Marcos. Unfortunately not quite supported by his fellow batters, and one has to say a tight over from Raz Mohammed at the end of this innings, bringing the match to a close. What an excellent game of cricket that ended up being. Not quite a last ball thriller as we'd hoped for, then a few balls earlier, but still excellent bowling, one has to say, from Raz Mohammed that last over. Managing to keep the Marcos batters in check, not quite seeing Shahid then bring his side home, but ending with an unbeaten 50, an excellent knock from him off 29 deliveries, 6 fours and a maximum. Excellent knock in a losing cause, but that's Empire taking the points from this evening from the Kerava National Cricket Ground. The Finnish Premier League game comes to a close as the fielders are coming off in what is still a sunny evening here at the National Ground. Lovely conditions for cricket, and we're happy to bring it to you. There'll be another game tomorrow evening, same time, same place, Kerava National Ground. Finnish Premier League, ECN Network, live broadcast from 6 o'clock local time. And I do believe I'm reliably informed that it's a Bengal Tigers against Helsinki Gymkhana tomorrow evening for the next game in this series of matches brought to you by Cricket Finland in partnership with the European Cricket Network. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you this evening. Warmly welcome back again at 6 o'clock local time, or make it even 5 o'clock. You can come and listen to some more commentary from the currently world's #1 commentator, Richard Savage, who'll be behind the mic. Fortunately, one might say that I'm not going to be. Andy Armitage signing off this evening as the umpires come back in towards the scorer's box. Over and out.